Oh, let's do it again.
She said she was going to be here and she wasn't, so we're going to take her off the screen for now. For everybody here in the Unearthed Arcanum, and I'm going to try to make sure that I have this open so that I know when she pops in. But for everybody here in the Unearthed Arcanum, take a look at your camera, wave, and say hi.
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 Hello.
Hi, intrepid heroes.
Hello. No, that's a different show.
I'll leave.
Wow. Hannah lasted for one session. Everybody say goodbye to Hannah. Wave goodbye to Hannah.
Sued. Nice. I didn't know we get pulled off to the screen to decide when that happens. There's like a little, one of those hooks that,
Yep, I got a little stage hook that just comes out, which is weird because then it looks like we were prepped for this moment.
It's also weird because
we weren't
with our hooks. Why was that?
We were definitely prepped for that.
Why was that a thing?
I don't know. Vaudeville, baby.
It's brutal.
Vaudeville. Cool. So it looks like it looks like Jess is here, just not on. Jess, we miss you. Come back. For those who have no idea what the heck this is, hi, we are a D&D live stream that runs every, I had to think about it this time, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, having 4 parties for now, living, existing, breathing, involved in a jailbreak, and picking up some real cool gauntlets. Living and also living. Did I mention that they're living in the same homebrew world for now?
The wrong class, guys. I'm sorry.
You're good. Living, breathing in their own world, the wonderful, beautiful world of Imea for now. For those who are wondering why I keep saying for now, there's a reason, and it'll come up in the announcements.
Because Veronica for now is coming back, obviously.
Because Veronica for now is actually the arbiter of all campaigns. No, there's other things too. First off, I just want to give a quick shout out to the amazing people that got me this. Thank you guys. This is beautiful and I love it and I will cherish it forever and ever. This was an early birthday present, and it's them people. It's UA. That was what I was saying. Thank you guys. This is awesome. I love this so much. I was told that one of the reasons I got this was because, and this is the last time I'll have to mention this to make it look like it's a credibility thing. I will be next week. I will be at Gen Con running a one shot. Start Playing has honored me as one of the DMs for that. So I'm very excited, very honored, and extremely happy. This will also be my first time at Gen Con, so I'm very excited for that, and I can't wait to show up there with my lack of funds to purchase things. It's gonna be good. But yeah, so thank you guys for that. And I'll try to make sure that I find a way to be able to put that on the table. That is the first announcement. The second one is, I believe, I have to check this because I believe we had someone jump in earlier today, but we have our drop-in, drop-out campaign, which is our Humblewood, Silk, and Sunder. For those who don't know, Humblewood is a campaign setting set for those who would like to play D&D but want to do so in a world where they can be a chipmunk or a pronghorn servant deer or a luma or some sort of bird of the sky. I've been doing this the past couple times. Let me make sure I add this on there. We'll do who we putting here? Who we putting in here? Oh, well, I mean, actually, yeah. Or you could be you could be a gerbine, which is a little mouse creature that would look something like this.
Oh.
Kiki knows something about that. That's Kiki. That's what Kiki
Joe,
actually
can
looks
I be
like,
a
guys.
Fox?
Yeah. Give me another one, guys. Send another one.
Can I be a
Raccoon?
squid?
Can I be a ferret?
Can you raccoon? Yeah. You want to be a ferret? Yeah. What'd you say, Evan?
I said I have to be a squid.
Fuck no. It's humble wood, dude. Jesus. Come on, man. Now I'm mad. Someone else do the rest of the intro.
The videos of the evolved squids that live in the woods called squibbins. They're part of
Squibbins.
That's a whole other. Okay, I'm gonna cut myself off.
Spin dropout campaign. You can do that, and you should. No, the squid is the only race you can't be.
I can't believe
That's it. That's it. End of joke. End of bit. Right there. That's it.
No.
No.
We need a little scroll thing to show that that's the end of the bit. And
Yeah,
move on to
that's
the next
right.
segment.
Now I have a hook. Come and get me. No. So Humblewood Silken Thunder is a drop-in, drop-out campaign designed in a woodland setting, where you have custom races. You can be, within reason, whatever you want to be, except for a squid. But there are also custom classes. There are a bunch of cool magical items that are added. There's Jess. Hey, Jess. It's super fun, and we run that every Saturday for at least the summer, including this Saturday, which is tomorrow. So including tomorrow, we have right now we have 5 players for tomorrow. So if you are wanting to jump in, this is it. You better do it quick too, because everybody's hearing this at the same time, So, so if you're asking me, Joe, hurry up. Where can I see this? Well, you can go to startplaying.game/GM/It's a Long Story, and that is where you're able to see where to be able to jump into those drop-in campaigns that have a little bit more details, as well as if there's ever a point. This is actually also where our one-shots would be as well. So you can go ahead and bookmark that and save that somewhere if you wanted to. You don't have to, but I mean, could if you want to be cool. But yeah, that is what we were doing for Saturday and most other Saturdays for the until at least the end of the summer. Lastly, not a lot of added info on this, but enough to be able to kind of just say we are introducing a 5th campaign very soon to the world that is currently known as Imea. The reason why I mentioned that is because Imea is a very specifically small part of what I assumed to be the world as long as I was building it, and now it's bigger, so more names. So now I have to name not only the place, but the world they exist in. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, so if you were interested, we had a lot of people that were jumping in that were asking about possibly being the 6th player in this campaign. That role has since been filled, obviously, but as I have told all those people, and I am telling you now, please stick around because hopefully by the goal right now is end of August, probably going into early September, I'll be honest. It might be closer to that. We will be releasing signups for that, and we'll do like a little kind of a quick interview just to make sure that everybody's kind of in that same sort of group setting that we want to be. But yeah, no spoilers just yet for anybody at all. Just yet. The only thing I can tell you is it's not in Imea.
I do have a spoiler, though.
Yes. Yeah.
Joe is going to give us a full moon schedule.
A full moon schedule, yes. All
and
of
a calendar with days of the week and all that stuff.
Jess, I know you weren't here, but Evan suggested possibly being a squid for Humblewood, and I'm feeling the same response in energy for that. No,
I get it.
There's even less of a schedule now, which is impossible. There's even less of a calendar.
Malicious.
Well, listen,
non-compliance.
you can thank past Joe for at least making the world flat, so you don't have that much to really name. It's not that big.
Oh god.
Also, the multiple moons he has to name. It gets complicated with all those moons up there.
Well, a lot of them are on the underside, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we only see the dark side of about a dozen of the moons.
Yeah, plus the ones that are actually in the planet, because it's like a Dyson sphere planet, so there's like, actual orbiting.
Yeah.
It's a complicated system.
Obviously.
There's the tidally locked. All right.
Yeah.
Well, and with that, this is the end of this session. So we will see you guys next week. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your week. No, I hate you guys, and let's play some D&D. Just kidding. I love you guys. Lastly, announcements, and I swear we'll get into this. If you are interested in supporting the channel, what a crazy thing to jump up from that to if you're interested in supporting. If you're interested in supporting activities like this, you can do. You could do so in a number of ways, but first and foremost, most important would be to like, subscribe, and follow wherever you're watching this, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch. That will help us out a ton in making sure that algorithm reaches out to larger groups of people, so that when I go to Gen Con next year, some people might know who I am. Who knows? Also, by the way, gang, I did find out that Colby is going to be there at Gen Con from D4, so very excited to hopefully meet him. For those of you who don't know, after this, watch the D4 network. It's super cool. Not sponsored. But yeah, you also can check out our social media down below. We have our Instagram and TikTok. We share some of our favorite clips, some terrain pieces, behind the scene, things like that. You can see it on the screen there, but it's at @itsalongstory_TTRPG. Please check it out. And if you feel so inclined, hit the like, hit the button that allows you to be notified about it, or to show that you're a fan. They all have buttons. Hit that
Why do
one.
we not have a generic word for that?
Yeah, I know. Hit the Skype.
Language.
Hit the Gmail. Cool. That is it, I believe, for the announcements. The announcements have been going more off the rails this week than they ever have before, and I'm a fan of it. So if you're not, I guess unhit the button. Please don't. Somebody else talk real quick. All right, before we jump in,
talking about before should sponsor us.
Should sponsor us for sure. Yeah. Hey, Colby.
Squids.
Hey, buddy.
Oh no, those.
No, not squids. Good lord. You know what? Just because of
got
that,
money. Squid's got money, man. Don't turn that away.
Okay. All right. Evan, you're in the Reckless campaign too, right? Got it.
No.
Yeah. Squid's coming for you, buddy. Also, as punishment, before we begin tonight, we do need to get a recap of where we left off, and I think Evan should do it. So, Evan, by all means, would you please?
How will I ever do that? If only I had written something over the past 3 hours.
You have the floor,
all right,
sir.
So how do we go? Welcome. No, that's not right. All right. Unearthed Arcanum, loosely connected group of general risk takers united in having eschewed traditional societal roles and jobs and gone out into the world in order to distract themselves from their own deep-seated issues. On the surface, however, it's been our purpose to find and help the kidnapped daughter of our friend Kara. In service to that purpose, we have traveled to the somewhat seedy port city of Dair's Wharf. Dealt with some aspect of Kara's past in the city, and finally gathered enough resources, information, and personal safety to perhaps travel to the Feywild, where we believe the kidnapped Maeve, her daughter, to be. We have learned of the Dormouse, surrounded in rumor and mystery, who will supposedly somehow ferry us from this plane to our destination. In the meantime, we're staying at the state of Kara's crime boss, off and on, significant other, Hadrian. During the last session, we had a bittersweet breakfast, finding out one of our members of our crew, Nalani, had left in the middle of the night and didn't intend on coming back. However, it was the first moment of real rest we had together in what seemed like ages, though it was probably only a few days, and we took advantage of it by catching up, goofing around, trading information. Kara seemed happy for once after reuniting with Hadrian, and Alistair made a seemingly strange but maybe meaningful deal with Yori in exchange for a sandwich. The group then immediately split up again. Most of us heading off to Mr. Cat's Magical Emporium to check out his catalog of magical items. Alistair and Mr. Cat had a bit of a verbal kerfluffle, and Yori tried to get some personal details from the cat, but it seemed like he could not offer catharsis to the forlorn feline. So, in an effort to be more interesting and captivating, he tried on some magical gauntlets, waited for any catastrophic effects, and then promptly thanked the cat and left without pause. At the same time, a new character on the scene was staging a jailbreak down in the Noose district. Is that right? Is it Noose?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Prim, her name, having been hired for a job, was doing her best to adapt to a quickly changing situation. She picked some locks, busted some heads, confused some guards, rescued Brom, a former associate of Hadrian's who had attempted to kill Kara. Brom was extremely out of it, making Prim's job even harder, and although they tried to retrieve Brom's mysterious bag on the way out, there just wasn't enough time. Eventually, they made their way to Hadrian's manor to hide and get some help, where Kara was eavesdropping on Hadrian and another associate of his and Kara's. Francis? Francis was the name, right? Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Francis and Hadrian.
Who was just revealing that he knew about the rods of destruction when there was a loud knock at the door. Prim and Brom burst in. Then, upon seeing Kara, Brom immediately reconsidered and tried to leave. Fortunately, he was quickly subdued by Prim, who just wanted to get this job done, while Kara attempted to read Brom's emotional state and ended up getting yet another vision. This time of Brom lying on the floor of the prison and a dark figure standing in the next cell over. The figure crosses between the cells as if the bars aren't even there, all the while staring at Brom. Standing over Brom ominously, we see a shadowy tabaxi staring down, who just says, "Hello, Brom." And then everything goes dark. We come back to Hadrian's manor, where Francis steps out and looks at Prim, gives her the old back of the hand clap, which has a strange amount of extra meaning, and I tried to look up what the name of it is, but like golf clap, but yeah, anyway, that's a part of, I literally wrote that, indicating Francis was one who hired Prim, and that's where we ended. Sorry.
Incredible. I will say, in a world where anything and everything could have a deeper meaning, and as a DM, I don't want to necessarily pull away from that prospect, but just in case, the golf clap was just I'm
I feel like golf clap is
proper
this.
jerk.
So then
Is that this?
I feel like it's
What
a
is
different
this?
thing, and I feel like this has, there's a little bit of scolding in this, a little bit of fancier, like, yes, that's what I'm saying. Just the clap itself has this sort of, anyway, I'm doing that too much. I'm not going to go off on
Favorite
that.
derailment
That's cool.
ever. I love it.
Yeah, that's interesting. Let's just talk about that. Let's not
Let's
even
talk
play
about
D&D.
claps. Names of
Let's
claps,
talk about
and
claps.
like what they mean,
All the claps.
Slow clap.
Nope.
I've run out. That's it. Guess we'll have to play D&D.
It's not it, but here we are. Let's play D&D. Cool.
Also, did I miss anything, I guess? Yeah.
Yeah, good question. Is there anything that we need to add, gang? Friends? For those of you who have noticed that I say gang way too much because of Brennan, I hear you.
No,
I mean, Huxley said it on Wednesday.
I hear you, friend. I'm Huxley, Kiki.
Okay, bye.
I'm Huxley. It's me. I've been here. Nope. Okay, here we go. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump in. So we are here with our with the rest of the UA. We have Gwyn. Why is that so loud in my ears and probably yours? My bad. We are here with Gwyn, Yori, Alistair, and Io as you guys are exiting Nine's shop. As you guys, I imagine, are clamoring back into the carriage, the question is where to next?
I forget. Have we clocked like what the security is like? Like, is there extra guards out? Does it seem like they're restricting travel to and from this center area at all? Going towards the stacks or coming from the stacks? Anything like that?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think I'd say without having to necessarily roll a perception check, it doesn't look like it looks like enough has happened in like the cleanup crew of the night before that would allow carriages to go to and fro. You do notice that there, definitely notice that there are more guards out here than there ever has been before. Also, actually, just incidentally, I'm gonna roll something here. Cool. All right, great. Yori, do you think you would have been aware of having to be careful with your presence being seen?
No. Especially not back with the group, just kind of like, we're in a carriage. I just got gauntlets.
Cool gauntlets.
I think, that largely he's not thinking about that. And I don't know how much he understands that whole, people talked about like being seen but he hasn't seen anybody who was like, hey, look that we're chasing that guy. Besides, I guess that's somewhat normal too, like, because there are people looking for him before. So in general, the answer is he's not being careful.
Cool, you got it.
Honestly,
yeah, so I think so anybody who wants to roll a perception check could, or I could just say this is what the camera sees. Honestly, this is a point of saying, like, would your character be paying close attention to that, or do you think it would be something that you're also not being mindful of?
I mean, I think
Alistair is either writing or he is carving on some buttons for the day. So no, he's not paying attention to anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Io is probably caught more off guard because he's still getting used to the fact that the store is silent and then it transitions into the cacophony of major cities. So I think he's more distracted with that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think Gwen would be, just because it's still in the back of her mind that she's not quite sure if we're finished with the Glimmer Shields and we're leading a big known crime lord back to places. So she would, but let's see how good it does her.
You got it. Go for it.
Yeah, that's a 3. She sees nothing.
Cool. Yori, as you're walking out into the crowd in the middle of the street where that carriage is being kind of posted up, I think there's a moment where you're putting the gloves on and like trying them out. And Gwen, you do like a quick sort of like look around. It looks like all the guards are busy. There is a moment from something that only the camera sees. So it's a kind of a weird thing to tell you guys this, but I will say, just for the sake of the story, as you guys all pile in, we do notice that there is one guard who happens to kind of just do a little bit of a double take. But the second take does not see Yori go into the cart. So you get the feeling, especially in the in Hadrian's cart, there's a good chance you guys wouldn't necessarily be blocked from going anywhere. Clinton, were you gonna say something?
Did you want to? Yeah. Did you guys want to go get the rest of our stuff from Huxley's place, or at least what we can grab?
Yeah.
And yeah, now's a better time than any, I guess.
Yori?
Yeah. Isn't like pretty trapped, and he's trying to like kill some? Is he kind of upset? Will we be upset if we steal all this? I mean, I guess it's our stuff, so I guess that's fine. He did try to attack Kara.
Though he also
do we know where he is?
Nay. So
Yeah.
I can reach out to him if we wanted to do that, but I think
Well, we can at least check first, and I mean, the
Yeah.
outside is fairly safe, and also we gotta I want to get your books. So yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Cool. So first off to the stacks.
Yep.
Yes.
To the stacks.
All right. I think we established it wasn't Hubert.
Harold. Harold
or-
and Gerald.
Harold and Gerald. That's right. Yeah, Harold and Gerald. Yeah. Hubert must be. Oh,
They're
Hubert's,
definitely not twins.
Hubert's for tomorrow. Hubert's a hedgehog. Cool. Not even in the same world right now, Joe. Yeah.
Actually,
so,
I feel like they should look like Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger in twins. That's how much
should-
twins they are.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Okay, for a second, I thought you were saying that this one person should be a mix of Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger. So that's what I heard. So that's what Gerald
It
is.
is.
Gerald
Haven't
is
mid-journeyed
a
that,
balding, 4'9", which is kind of tall for a halfling, really. Very buff.
Fantastic.
Dark rimmed glasses, wearing a figure that has an egg sitting on the cart, sitting in the seat of the cart next to him. And that's Gerald. Sweet. So
Harold.
as you guys,
Gerald's at the house.
sorry, Harold. That's right. Yep. Memory's going, guys. That is Harold. As you guys are going down from the areas of the sharps, going to the takes and turning, I'd like you guys to give me a perception check, please. This is if you feel like you would possibly be looking out the window.
This is a question I should probably know, but I got rid of my last level of exhaustion, right? Or do I need one more sleep? I
You
need
have
one more
one
sleep.
level of exhaustion left, yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
But we needed some more of that coffee you had. That really helped a lot. So
Big fat 0?
I love that -2, buddy.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I think the camera sees Gwen looking outside, but I think just whatever Gwen is thinking about has blinded her to anything that she is seeing, which is pretty interesting. Anybody
100%.
else?
I got a 5.
Okay.
I think he's interested in what's outside because it's, outside. It's like you're a kid, you're looking at stuff as you go by, but at the same time, he just got new toys, so he's probably playing with those too and not really paying much attention to what's actually out there.
Sticking them outside with your hand outside. They fall
Just
off your
trying to
hand.
touch people with them, going like this
Yep.
and
Yep.
touching things.
They fall outside. Your dad has to go run outside and go get it, and it's on the highway. Just me? All right, cool. By the way, thanks, Dad. Thanks for grabbing that. Okay, cool. So just Yori, Io, Alistair, you guys are not looking outside.
Io rolled an 8 when he looked outside, so
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
not saying much.
Good job, guys. Alistair, you busy with coins?
18.
18? Okay, cool. All right, sweet. Well, with the for the record, I was fine with the 5 and 8. That's fine. That's cool. I like it. But as you guys are staring out, for those that rolled a 5 or above, you do notice that there is what looks to be a large, rather luxurious-looking gilded ship sitting out from the takes, the middle deck, that is even from its massive size, it is actually not even able to fit fully into dock. So it is just kind of parked, just with the nose of the ship actually being, I'd say about maybe just peering over the deck. Behind it look to be, you can notice there are other sort of like masts that look somewhat similar. Alistair, with your 18, you notice that they all look exactly the same. And scanning out on the horizon, you see that there is somewhere between, based on the idea that like it kind of gets foggy as you look further out, there could be somewhere between 5 to 8 ships out there. They all look very similar in the like rich, luxurious sort of thing. You don't notice. I'll also give you this. You rolled an 18. You do notice that on the middle docks there seems to be 2 guards that are standing. There that are definitely not Dair's Wharf guards. You notice some very shiny looking metal armor that has almost a like kind of like streamlined look to it. Like has the like as if they have armor specifically for like naval combat.
Got it. I don't recall those ships here yesterday. Do you guys see the boats? No? Io?
Yeah, I see the ships. Since Io's done some time sailing, would he have any? I mean, I know I only got an 8, but would he have any frame of reference for this type of ship? And is there any little extra information we can
Yeah.
glean from this?
I'm gonna say give me a history check with advantage.
Alrighty. There it is. Okay, that is a 17.
17, cool. So I would tell you this: with a 17, you have definitely seen these types of ships before. Coming in from your hometown the first time, there's probably a little bit of a weird sort of downtime where you're not entirely sure where to go, kind of like lost in the streets of Eisenheim. And you had clocked 1 or 2 of these ships. So this is a South Imaean ship for sure. Most likely strictly Eisenheim capital ships. As far as them being part of like any necessarily like naval fleet, I don't think Io would have that information.
That's fair. Huh. It looks like Eisenheim make. I know you were born in North Imea, Al, but you know anything about Eisenheim? And
Yes, I'm aware of the politics of the continent, but why would Eisenheim be here?
Didn't Kara say something about this?
Yeah,
Oh,
she
man.
mentioned that the
I'm just saying,
we should probably get to Huxley's and get back as soon as possible.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Cause
That,
that's
seems
giving me
smart.
some goose pimples.
I think Gwen, at least Gwen, anybody who thinks they would connect with us on that. As you notice, there are more guards out here than normal. I think the first judgment of that in the idea that maybe the riots kind of needing more of a cleanup crew and things like that. I think Gwen, noticing the second time through, you actually see that the guards aren't really doing much as far as cleanup goes. But
From the riot the day before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Does it seem to be because they're distracted by the ships coming in, or more that they just either don't care or have been told to leave it alone?
I would say you're not entirely sure.
Okay.
It is. There are people that are like on cleanup crew here. Just none of them seem to be guards.
Got you. Yeah.
Out of curiosity, do the guards appear to be like milling around, or are they just standing there?
They're just standing there.
As we're traveling in the cart, is there a point where, like, we're close enough that I could shout out the window or say something to someone?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think I
who are
would
you
lean
wanting
out.
to shout out to?
If I saw a guard that was within like a low talking distance, like at a normal volume,
Okay.
I would lean out the side of the cart where like you could see the docks and kind of point out in that direction. And lots of visitors today, huh?
Roll me a perception check.
That's an 18.
Not to worry, sir. Just here for a meeting with the South. All is fine.
All right. Well, thank you. And then I'll lean back in the cart. We really should probably move quickly to do whatever it is we're gonna do. Gwen, I hope you have a list. I don't think we can stay long.
I'm used to packing up quickly.
Guys, I just remembered. Remember Shiv said she visited that person in the compass, where the little girl was. While we're in
Yeah,
the
the
ball,
cat person.
Don't even
yeah,
remember her
yeah,
name.
Harper.
Harper. Yeah. We both met her, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Maybe we should stop by there before we get too far.
Compass is in the North Warrens, so opposite direction where you guys are currently at.
Would it be on the way back? Like, could it be on the way back, I suppose?
It could be. You'd be going out of your way to go there, but yes.
Okay. Well, maybe we can make that call as we go back, but yeah, I mean.
Yeah. Let's see how long it takes us at
yeah.
Huxley's.
Yeah, good point.
Okay.
I just don't want to forget anything important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, of course.
As you say that, the docks start to go off in the distance as you start to see and hear the sounds of the factories and warehouses, seeing steam coming up over the large mechanical rooftops. There is there's an interesting lack of guards in this area. But you also actually, I would say, notably, like overall, there is just less people here. You definitely see like workers kind of going back and forth. So it looks like, upkeep is staying the same, but there's not a significant amount of foot traffic in general. As you guys pull to a stop in front of a totally normal looking warehouse.
Wait, let's get in and out as quick as we can. Carefully, though. At least until we get through the door.
Yeah. Al, you lead.
Yeah, I think I don't know much about warfare and things, but maybe Yori, you might want to stay outside with Io. I can't help but shake the feeling that they're going to let at least this part of the city fall pretty easily if something happens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about it. If the guards are pissed about what happened yesterday, they might be willing to let someone else deal with it. So we should probably move fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird that there's not a lot of guards here.
So you want us to
People in
stay
general.
outside? Is that
Well,
because we
maybe
might get recognized, or in the? Are we still on the carriage aboard?
at least maybe to give us a Like I assume we're in the carriage, yeah. To like give us a heads up if something happens and we're not trapped here.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking I could get in through the roof like Nalani did, but if somebody else can go up that way, it might be an easier way to get in. If you want us to stay out here, kind of in the carriage, I'm okay with that.
Though
No, actually, that's a great idea. You could probably get a better idea from up there about what's going on around us as well.
Okay, maybe we just. Who's driving the carriage, by the way?
Well, that's Harold. Harold is driving the
All
carriage.
Right, Harold, that's right. Okay.
The Danny DeVito / Arnold Schwarzenegger looking half.
I wrote that in Midjourney. I will go do that.
Put him driving a cart.
Yeah.
Or driving a carriage.
Okay. Then yeah, if we pull around maybe somewhere where we can get out that's like not as noticeable or not around as many people, and then I'll try to because if I'm gonna fly, that's gonna be the best case is if I try to do it somewhere where, you know, it's not out in the open, as that's probably the most noticeable thing I can do.
Yeah. I will say the best alleyway to go down is about like it's just like probably like a short run out of the way. So it is if you're worried about being noticed outside, which again, there's not a lot of foot traffic out here, but it is a little bit further down to make sure that the carriage is not being noticed.
Yeah, I think he's not worried that he's going to be noticed. That's still not on his mind. But I think anytime he opens his wings, he's a little bit even self-conscious about it. But just, you know, kind of wants to do it in a little bit of a private space, especially in the city. So
yep. So you're a couple buildings over technically when you pull over there.
I'd be fine with walking over there and then doing it from that alley or whatever.
I'd say you could also just fly from the alleyway and just go rooftop to rooftop if you wanted to.
Yeah, that'd be fine too.
Okay. Yeah.
I will send
as
Spider
he's doing
Susan.
that, I'll check the door for traps and try and get in through the front.
Okay. You got it. Gwen, you're sending Houston?
I'll just send Houston with Yori so he's not totally alone, and if something happens, I can know immediately.
Cool. Little cat spider is on top of your head, Yori.
Tarantula-sized.
Yeah. And definitely just as furry.
Yes, 100%.
Tongue just out.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's like maybe like there's a little bit of like a yeah, no, there's like some cats sometimes that have that where they can't like get all their tongue back in their mouth.
Usually means that they have
and just so you know, it's a
issue.
forked tongue if it's Houston.
Well,
forked tongue as well. Great.
Yeah.
If any
it's a magic
creature has some medically defined issues
forced into this, you will be a spider and a cat and also kind of a snake and.
And you have
I was
wings,
going more for like devil, but that snake works too.
Well, it's just forked tongue. That's the first thing that popped in my head. Yeah.
I like it. Cool. Yeah. I'll say Yori, using your wings and things like that, pretty easy to kind of like scale the rooftops and just go over. So Alistair, you got out of the cart earlier, or the carriage earlier. As you walk up, I'm gonna say give me an investigation check. Actually, give me an Arcana check.
22.
Cool. Yeah, the 22, Alistair, you notice, especially just like having like sight looking all around, you've noticed like, from the outside and a significant amount of alarm spells, like wards, things like that. They've always been up here. There is no sign of that anywhere.
I'll tell Gwen and Io. Basically, it seems like Huxley hasn't returned, and tell them to shoot a message up to Yori since he's up on the roof that it seems outwardly safe.
Gotcha. I think
I don't have actual message, so I will have to do that.
Io's gonna take out his pager and he's gonna write.
We have books.
And he's gonna write in it. Seems like the place is safe. Huxley hasn't set alarms and everything, whatnot. It appears.
As you take the book out, and I haven't written this for real yet, but I mentioned Yori wrote along. Everything we write in the book, everyone can see. It's just, and Yori wrote along. It's not super long, but probably maybe like a page of the book is taken up by, like a poem to Nolani, just kind of for what he's done and kind of to wish him luck in the future and kind of as a sort of, a thing that he did. But I haven't actually written that out, so I can't read it or anything, but it's just like one page is kind of written to Nolani, assuming that Nolani still has the book. He doesn't know, so just kind of to wish him luck in what he's doing. But yeah, if I get the message, then yeah.
I think just to respond to that, because there's no way Io wouldn't respond to that. It's like,
yeah, I get that.
You see him kind of contemplatively go, yeah, I really wish you luck, man. That's it.
Do you write that
dive
before
in the window
writing
of the warehouse? And, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, just a clarification. You write that before you write to Yori. It looks like there's nothing, like, it looks like it's all
Yeah,
safe
because
down here.
I think that would be an immediate like change up. Like writes that to Nolani, but then writes the next message to Yori.
Okay, you got it.
It's like a yearbook.
So this is a fun little bit. Alistair, I would like you to. I assume seeing no wards, things like that. Do you go to open the door?
Yes.
Cool. So I'd like Alistair and Yori to roll an initiative, please.
Wait.
The whole warehouse turns into a robot. I swear to God.
It's a Megazord.
17.
He's gonna get those people that made fun of him in the bar one time. He sure is. I got an 18.
Okay. All right. Cool. I hate that, but I love that. Great. Yori, as you go and open the kind of slotted window where there's kind of like that walkway underneath, I would say give me a. Do you have dark vision?
I don't think so, actually. No, I'm gonna just say no. I'll correct it later.
No, we
but
had
I'm
this
pretty sure he
discussion
doesn't.
last night that fey creatures don't have dark
Yes,
vision,
dark
but
vision.
they
I like it.
descended do.
I do not. So yeah.
I like that. Cool. So I'm going to say the DC has risen a little bit higher. Go ahead and roll me a DC 10 perception check.
Okay. Okay, that's a 15.
15. Nice. Cool. So as you are looking in, you see what looks to be pretty much the same for what you saw with Huxley's warehouse when you left, except there's something that was at the kind of on the corner of the wall, kind of on that set there, that is now moved to just in front of the door, and it is. I'll say that 15 was good enough for you to be able to kind of recognize. You recognize it as something you have fought before.
Right. Okay. Alistair was there during that fight, because he teleported it in this fight. So I'm gonna write in the book essentially. It's like the it's that weird I don't know, cabinet golem
Okay.
is in front of the door.
Okay, I'm going to say just for a point of clarification here, because I think Alistair is kind of opening the door maybe a second before you, or a second after you are.
Yeah. Well, do I hear the door open? Like, I guess if I'm seeing it, kind of hear down that he's.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not sure if I know he's coming in at that point. So.
I don't think you would know necessarily.
Then if I don't hear anything from there as far as door opening, then yeah, I think that I would just write in the book.
Just start
that's
writing.
My fastest, like, yeah.
Yeah, I think you
Still
start
not super
writing
fast, but it's
as the door is opening. So, Alistair, as you open the door, you see, you notice just a little bit too late this tiny thread that you would just be paying attention to because you know Huxley, threaded string that looks to be connected to this large dresser like bar back sort of thing. As you see, like a pin to a grenade, it gets pulled out, and you see the machine turn on. You see this weird sort of reddish eye go in the middle, and you see a hammer gets raised, and then nothing happens.
So the thread was broken, though.
Mm-hmm.
I will take a step back and use my cane to force the door all the way open to see if the hammer falls the rest of the way.
It does not. You're inside. You think you're all the way to the ground level?
I think I might still be staying up top in the little rafters that were kind of above where the ones that Huxley had to fix, that we broke, and he kind of refixed that kind of little area up top above in the central room.
Gotcha. Cool. Let's say with that 15, you notice there's something that seems to be as the cloak is actually thrown backwards, revealing the large hammer that is raised up. You notice that there seems to be something that is there's a new patch on the cloak. It's white from your perspective right now because you don't have dark vision. So there's
Right. I mean, I think I just kind of yell down, assuming that Alistair, if I see it raise its hammer, I've either seen Alistair sort of open the door, or I can assume that he's kind of coming in, and I just go.
Yeah, I think.
Alistair,
yeah.
Yeah,
go ahead. Sorry.
It's cool. I just kind of go, Alistair, I think it's maybe broken. It's just kind of sitting there. There's a white patch on its cloak. It's different. I don't know. Maybe you didn't fix it in time, or you just, maybe you just did a bad job.
Jory, I tripped something when I came in, so be careful where you move for the moment.
Okay, I'm gonna stay up. I'm the rafters up above. I'll stay here
do you
until
have
you
anything?
kind of get in, or I can, yeah.
Do you have anything that you could use to make a really loud noise away from both of us?
Away from both of us.
Like the opposite corner?
I tend to make a lot of noise right where I am. But yeah, I could. Is there anything loose near me?
Is there anything loose?
Yeah, I don't know, like piece of metal that he's working on, or anything up there. Just any objects up in the rafters up there.
Yeah, I think there's a possibility that there's a piece of metal piping that seems to be or a loose screw that that doesn't seem to be necessarily set where it needs to be. It's an added sort of support.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make a noise, so I'm just kind of taking whatever the biggest object that is loose around and just throwing it as hard as I can at the corner. That's just kind of simply trying to make a bunch of noise there.
Cool. The opposite corner. The farthest corner.
Yeah.
You got it. Great. Yeah, I would say, Gwen and I, you are here as you hear this like king, 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 king. And you do see, I think, like, over Alistair's shoulder, Gwen, you do see like the same robot with the raised hammer.
Gwen's gonna cast mage armor just in case.
Okay.
Can either one of you do the lights in here? I can't see anything really right now.
Hey, Gwen, can you still do that? When it
Yeah, I
comes
can.
to...
Is there something within 10 feet of us, like a candle or something?
Nope. Sorry, sorry to hard no, but there is a reason.
You bet. I don't really have any light spells.
Let me think. Oh, actually, how about this? And you see the eyes in his arm glow as he clasps Alistair's cane hand and casts light.
Cool.
So, does that work for you?
Absolutely. I will hold it out, and can I see the cape on the back of? I mean, I guess I'm looking at the front.
Are you walking
Can I
all the
see
way
this
in?
white
So
patch?
the cape's on the back.
This different thing. Yeah, I know. That's. I know.
It's where a cape usually
Yeah,
is.
I will walk opposite. I know. I will walk opposite. So if it's like up over its left shoulder, I'll walk around the right side of it.
Walk around the other side. Yeah, I like it. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
You have solved my puzzle. No. You see it is not, from your vantage point, it is not a patch on there, but it is a scroll that has been adhesively, or a piece of parchment that has been adhesively put on the back of the cape that just says, "Take what you need, idiots."
It's. Before anyone else walks around, I will grab it, pull off. It's fine, everyone. It's fine.
As soon as he says
What
it's
was
fine,
that
I'm
Not
walking
here.
in.
Yeah, Isle's coming in too.
It,
Okay, so
Uh,
I sound a little exasperated.
it was nothing, Yori. And I will find a table, and I'm gonna start.
Okay,
Can I
it was
find a
like a
table and
you
start,
and
like-
Huxley thing. I get it. It's like an adult thing.
Yeah.
You say that, Gwen just starts laughing and is gonna go start collecting her stuff.
Hey Gwen, if you need help carrying anything, I can not only carry things, but I can levitate things too.
I was hoping, Alistair, can you make your disc?
Oh yeah, that'll work too.
I'm just gonna pile stuff in the carriage anyway. So.
Yeah. Yep. Can I?
Like I said, Gwen is very good at packing quickly, so she is gonna spare a few moments to see if Huxley took anything, particularly like her journals, because he was reading them. So
I'll ask you this. Is there anything that you would have left in here that you would deem valuable besides sentimental value?
you know, she probably has old gifts, either from previous boyfriends or even some stuff her mom might have given her that might have monetary value, like jewelry or something, but nothing particularly of much note that way.
Cool. Yeah, I would say like the only thing that might have come up is like spell component things you might have grabbed. But other than that, everything else is clean.
Yeah, I mean, she might have had old stuff from the Ludus, just like discarded component pouches that have various things left in it. So
Yeah, I say if you think you're close enough, keeping close enough watch on that, those things are gone. But as for the rest of you, as you guys are trying to kind of make sure that you're collecting your stuff and all that, yes. Clinton?
I know where he primarily. Yes, I know where he primarily worked on things. Can I go see what he left?
Yeah, you go over to where you last saw him working on station stuff, and I'd say go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
32.
With a 32, you notice specifically that a lot of the like valuable things here, not only in this specific space but in the entire place here, have been removed. Anything that would be useful for building anything with like in terms of like rare materials is gone. You also notice that there are a couple of other automatons here that seem to have had their inner workings ripped out. However, with a 32, because that's stupid good, you do notice that there is a underneath the table. There's a bunch of parchment paper that is neatly like put in a pile, something that you've never seen like you would never call Huxley neat, and there's that neat stack of paper is interesting.
Yeah, I'll lean down and check it. I'm assuming it's magical papers for scrolls.
Nope.
Nope.
Simple papers.
Cool.
But you do see something slip out of it, and it is a folded up piece of paper that just has AS on it.
I will unfold it.
You unfold it, and you see it is schematics written out hastily of the spell guard shield that you're working on.
I will smile, and then can I take one of those sheets of... Actually, no. The scroll that was on the back of the automaton, I want to turn it over on the backside and write a letter that just says... I don't know why you did what you did, and I know it doesn't matter, but I forgive you. I hope you can forgive yourself. And then I want to fold it into my version of a paper airplane, we would understand at least what flying machines were. And grab a little pinch of the little dust that I shaved off of the Dominium.
Okay.
And sprinkle it over the paper and just launch it and see what happens.
Cool. I like it. Go ahead and roll me. I'm going to say go ahead and roll me your spell attack.
$22.
Cool. The 22, as you send it out, you notice the dust starts to kind of sprinkle off of the back of it, and then seems to kind of move as if some weird sort of off trade wind pushes it back underneath the plane, and then becomes a small, weird sort of like revolving circle. As you see, eventually it disappears.
I will fold the paper with the schematics up, put it away, and walk out of the room and not say anything to anyone.
You got it. Yori, you do still see your barrel of gunpowder, unless you guys took that?
No, that was still there, yeah.
Yep, still there.
Amazing. I think I actually might ask, Alistair, would this be more safe in the bag? Didn't you say you had a bag, that could hold stuff? Oh, okay. You're busy. I'll just carry. Wait.
We can try and make it. We might have barrel will fit.
Well, it's just a keg. A keg is
we
it's
should
not huge. So
let's do it.
What about would the sandwiches stay
I was
longer?
thinking barrel. In the bag?
Yeah, in the bag, in the whole. Does it like change? Does it? It goes to a different place or something. It says a different temperature.
I hadn't really thought about it. I mean, I guess you could put your hand in there and see.
Oh, what if we put half the sandwiches in there and I hold half the sandwiches, and then we can see which one comes out better?
Like an experiment.
Scientific
Yeah, like
method.
that's right. Yeah, I made 12, so I don't know how long they're gonna keep, but maybe they'll be better in the bag. I just thought maybe we'd want something. I don't know what there's going to be to eat in Feywild, and thought it might be nice because they had a lot of good stuff at the house.
We can put the sandwiches in there. Did you want the gunpowder as well?
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll like come apart in the space either, so just low expectations.
Okay, well that's good. Then we'll still at least have, we'll put 6 and I'll keep 6, and then you can put 6 in the bag and the gunpowder, and hopefully they don't blow up the sandwiches. But,
question.
Yes, sir.
If we make a block of ice, would the ice melt in the void?
We can test that as well on our way back to Hadrian's before.
Because I'm thinking.
Do you have a block of ice?
I can make one. All I need is some water.
Callisto speaks up in mentionings of the void and goes, "Yes."
Okay. Yeah, I'm just thinking sandwiches, scoop out, make a block of ice, but with an empty compartment, stick the sandwiches inside. Perhaps keeping them cooler will prevent something from, I don't know, rotting, the food spoiling. I don't know, it's worth a shot. We'll workshop it.
Yeah, let's draw hey, Gwen.
Yeah, let's try that when we're in the carriage. I'm all set.
Gwen, I do want you to roll me one investigation check. I'm going to tell you right now at the DC. DC's 20.
Oh, geez. Okay. 17 or higher, y'all.
You got it.
Big money, big money, big money, big money.
I did have it, but I'm at disadvantage, so it is only a 14.
Okay.
Not bad for.
I respect that, but also, damn you.
I know it.
Oh wait, can I give her bardic? I am a bard. I could have given her bardic.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
I always never use it. All right, cool.
Is it
It's
a
only
D6?
D6. It's a D6. Yeah.
What did I say? I had a 14?
Money, big money, big money.
You know what?
I'm gonna
We're gonna do this
ask
so everybody
you.
can see.
I'm gonna ask you. We're gonna do just a small retcon because you don't know that she's looking for this. So I think Yori, how do you give Gwen a bardic as she is gathering her things?
I have often flavored bardics as, off-screen time stories that I've told the group, and that
Right.
it's just like occasionally that those stories, it's just they remember something about it, and maybe it depends on if she gets it, what she's finding it, but like maybe there's just like a story about a kind of spirit that's staying hidden from one of the like one of the giant gods, and the story talks a little bit about like the places that it hides and the things that it turns into, and it's just a little bit of like oh yeah, you might do this if you were trying to hide something somewhere, or like you might be able to, or maybe even just motivation to be like, yeah, I can find this thing, and it's kind of like when you're thinking about a story and becoming that narrative.
And I feel like it might make sense because I was thinking while I'm packing up, she's calling out to Yori, oh, I need to find that book that I wanted to give you, like just in general, like, oh, I think you'd like this one too. Because he's shown interest in her books and everything, so.
You got it. As you are collecting all of your things, you notice the diary specifically that you remember, like book 1 of blah, 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 of whatever, however many that Gwen has had in collection over there. You remember, you pick up the one.
She has one per year, pretty much. So
cool. You got it. You pick up specifically the one that Huxley, that you saw was in Huxley's hand. Go ahead and roll me that d6.
Do it where everybody sees it, because I feel like it's one of those rolls that's fun that way.
Cool.
Oh, it's a 4.
It's 18, isn't it?
Yes,
oh,
it
18
is.
total?
Yeah, 18 total.
Gotcha. Okay.
Flash of genius? I don't know.
It's up to you guys if you really want to know. I'm going to say, I'll allow it, but it's just storyboard. I'll be honest with you.
What group are you talking to, Joe?
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm going to say right now you just don't see it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Jess, you know that there's something in that book. Gwen doesn't. Cool. And I can't wait for you to find it and then go like, oh, okay.
He knows his players. That's the exact reaction that would happen. All right, okay.
I am frantically coming up with reasons why Gwen would reread through her old journals now.
It's just a schematic for a Vorpal sword. That he thought you might need. No. Yeah. So you guys pile everything back into the carriage. Again, noticing as you head out, there's not really any foot traffic here besides people that clearly are doing jobs around here. Yeah, and I think you guys take one last look at the warehouse or anything you guys want to say or do here before you head into
I did have one question. As somebody who has fled many a place with no intention of coming back, is that sort of the vibe that we get here? Like, this place is sort of burned for him. He doesn't have any intention of returning, at least for a while.
Yeah, I would say at least for a while for sure. But I think what you notice is someone who does not have anything of value to come back to here.
Okay.
I think what Io's doing as he's leaving, he actually did want to respond to Callisto mentally. He's not just going to leave him on said. He's going to think to him. It's like, so do you prefer the cold of the void, or do you prefer the varied climates of here? Do you have a preference?
Based on the combination of my thick reptilian skin and my extremely freezing cold heart, I don't really feel changes in temperature like you do.
Interesting. Wonder what that's like.
It is strange because I know not whether my current temperature is comfortable or not, as I have never known any other kind.
Man, it's the simplest things about you are incredibly pondersome.
I can lick my eyeball. You want to see?
Yeah, I totally want to see.
It goes up, cleans up.
That is so.
Someone jump in the
disgusting,
comments and go,
so
axolotls can't lick their eyeballs. Do it.
This
Do it.
one
The
can.
comment.
This one can.
Do it. This one.
This
can.
one also flies, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Also,
And is also part
it's
of mana
fantasy, dude.
and a dragon.
Or dudette.
And it talks with telepathy.
Yeah. Yep.
So maybe that's
Only
the
dial.
first one you're gonna ask. Yeah.
Yeah. We're yelling at someone who doesn't exist. Okay. Yeah. So anything else you guys want to do before you leave the warehouse?
One moment.
Gwen would give Yori a couple of storybooks. I think one would probably be sort of like a Mayan version of The Secret Garden sort of thing, just because that would have been one of her favorite books as a kid. I don't know what the other one is. Some adventure story about pirates.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it's like Treasure Island, but a Maya version.
Nice.
Yeah.
We should probably let Huxley know about his father at some point.
You think
Do
he
you
doesn't
think
know?
he cares? We
What
could.
if
Absolutely.
Oh, so before we fought the crazy women and all that, the grave outside that's Huxley's father, based on what you wrote in the notebook. He's not resting peacefully.
Ooh. So he's like dead but not dead in there.
Something like that.
Oh man, there's no way he's happy about that either.
I don't think he's happy
Just-
about much. But what I'm just wondering what the purpose of it would be for now. I don't think he plans to come back here for a long time. But the knowledge,
I just I think it's something that I would want to know. I think.
To be fair, you and
I'm
I
not saying we
have-
should do anything about it. I'm just saying.
I don't know. Maybe it might be a good idea, but I don't know. You and I have really pretty good relationships with our folks. Not everybody has that kind of relationship, so I don't know. What if he's in that camp?
well, then finding
I
out he's
just-
not resting peacefully might make him feel good.
Either way, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure I can't help with that, but I'm sure if you want to talk to him or contact him or send him a message, we can do that.
I was thinking about it, so I could add that in.
I mean, only if you want to.
If you think that we should, that he would want to know, then yes.
I think he should know, but I also understand that I'm not the one that's going to be telling him. So, just
Is he going to be
keeping
mad that
in
we took
mind.
all his stuff or all our stuff? Or
No, I think he's fine. I think he would absolutely want us to take whatever we could. He also took pretty much everything of value before he left.
Yeah.
So
With that,
Seems to me
Alistair,
there's
I
not
think
much of a reason for him to come back there.
You guys are at the door, and you notice something on the back of it, same slip of paper or parchment that says "Lock it when you leave, please."
he's just polite. I think
Alistair,
he's
roll me a perception check.
18.
Okay. Continue.
I, I, I think maybe that this has been a very hard but important turning point for Huxley. He's even using please.
That is
Can we
gross.
go?
Yes,
Yeah.
we should get back.
Yeah.
Cool. As you all, as you leave, are you locking it up?
Yep. Yeah, I would.
You got it. As you go and leave, you turn the lock. You make sure you have everything piled up in the carriage, and you guys head off. And as you all head off, I'd like you all to give me one last perception check before you all die. No,
Not us. We're not there.
that's right.
16.
12.
15.
5.
Cool. Both Yori and Io. I think Yori, for a reason of recognizing, maybe recognizing danger, and maybe, I imagine that there's a. Oh no, actually, I got it. You are very aware of what like fire smells, feels, and looks like. You smell something as you get about maybe 30 to 40 feet away. Io, I think this was a perception check, but I think you think about the words that Alistair used here. Look, he even used the word please. And from the camera's point of view, we see the please from the window that is still stuck on the door start to burn up from the locking mechanism that has connected down to a small bit of gas in a can that has, gasoline in a can that has tipped over onto the floor, and a candle that has been a singular candle that has been set up above the entire warehouse itself, right? Kind of like tied with that same sort of string, and it would be the candle that would most likely be sitting in that space there. You see it just, and you see it drop. There's no explosion, but you all smell a fire. And with that, we'll switch over. So, on the other side of the world of Dair's Wharf, there is a rather odd situation that is coming into play inside of the mansion of Hadrian. We see Kara, the changeling, standing within arm's reach of a new figure that, speaking of arms, only has one of them. As Prim is also standing over the body of an unconscious Brom, looking up at Francis, who is giving whatever clap this is, and saying, "Good job." Hadrian is now looking between everyone here and asking what the fuck is going on.
So when Brom backed away, he was scared. I think Kara kind of shrinks into herself a little, and she's like, I think it was me, and she starts to shift back to the Kara they all know.
Well, he's going to have to learn how to deal with it. You don't need to change for anyone anymore. But it's whatever you would like to do. Okay, Francis, who is this? And Francis says, well, I am never one to want to give introductions away from someone who might want to be giving it themselves. Who are you? It looks at Prim.
Hi. My name's Prim. I've been stuck in jail for the last couple days, and aren't you supposed to be going to a wedding?
I would talk a little faster, Prim.
I've been trapped in jail for the last couple of days. I used to work with Brom a lot on the side. I showed off my skills by helping get this one, kind of gestures to Brom on the floor, him out, and now I'm here. Francis knows more about me than most people know about me, which is scary and actually kind of weird and cool, but at the same time, that's his whole deal, I guess. And you're Hadrian of the Burning Rose.
I am very aware of who I am. Looks over at Francis. Francis says 2 words. 3rd floor.
Yeah.
All right. You have my attention, Prim. What is it that you want in payment for this gift?
I mean, a way to the Feywild would be nice, but a bath and some food would be a good start.
Kara's gonna shift into her changeling form and walk forward and grab Prim's arm and just say, "Is that you?" Because she thinks it's a mirror fucking with her.
You got it.
Off to a great start.
Yes, good start. Cool. Prim, yeah, you feel a changeling go and grab your arm and say, "Is that you?" Who just shifted from someone and then back to changeling.
Not gonna lie, that was cool. Haven't really seen that before, but no, I mean, I am me. I am Prim, I guess. What?
Insight check. She's
Yeah,
gonna
go for it.
insight check.
What do you mean?
Prim, go ahead and roll me a deception or persuasion if you like.
You can try. 29.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I have a +1 to both of those. It's not gonna happen.
I'm gonna say go ahead and roll anyways.
I rolled a dirty 20.
Okay, that's not bad. Cool. That actually. So I think what Kara, what you definitely get is that this is someone that has memories and thoughts and feelings that does line up with who they are. You don't see any specific memories, but you do recognize the difference between someone who is pretending to be someone and someone who is actually someone.
Yeah, I feel like she'd recognize a mirror immediately.
Possibly.
Did we talk
Possibly.
about Amir having some kind of tell? I feel like at some point that we were aware of and talked about. It was a long time ago when we were talking about,
He's got no nose and no teeth.
well, a tell
And-
in other forms.
I've got 2 tusks.
But an extremely wide mouth. Kara, you are thoroughly convinced that you don't know who this is, but it is not Amir.
Can you
I think she
go
pulls
my
back
arm?
towards Hadrian and Francis. Yeah, she does. She backs towards Hadrian and Francis and just says, "Well, isn't it convenient that someone who needs to go to the Feywild shows up now?"
Yes. Incredibly convenient. What is your... She bought Brom back, dear. So I imagine that does allow at least to hear a story, hopefully the truth.
We can... I didn't take the spell today, damn it.
You can
Tomorrow
zone
we can
truth
hear
me.
the truth.
You can Zone of Truth me. You can do whatever you want. I
That
don't
spell
care. I'll
doesn't
tell
go
you
very
the
well for
truth.
you.
I see no reason to lie.
Well,
Well, even given certain situations that have come to light recently, I don't see a use in assuming everyone is a liar out of the gate. So, Prim, you did ask for a warm bath and a meal. There was someone who tried to reserve every bath in the house, but I believe they are currently out. So,
Cool.
I would-
Yeah, I smell horrid. It has been a while. I am sorry for your carpet, and kind of looks down at the ground. The rug.
well, a person who is aware of themselves, that's definitely a plus. So good. Please feel free to take a bath. I will make sure that Gerald has a meal waiting for you, and then we can talk then.
Awesome. That sounds amazing. And then you just hear her stomach like demon noise. Just oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Well, where
Breakfast first, maybe?
it'll be fine. Okay, maybe that
the parlor has plenty of leftovers.
dope. And she's just gonna like
Just walk by. Hey, she goes, dope.
I'm confused by her.
I'm not. Francis? Well, I have a significant amount of information on her, where she comes from, whereabouts, things like that. But she's also aware that I have those things, so maybe it would be best to hear it from her to enact a level of trust. Something that,
Speaking
if
of
I may
trust-
say, is desperately needed in this moment.
Yes, I agree. Perhaps we should discuss something that I find of interest that we spoke about over breakfast.
Are you talking directly to Francis or just to both of them?
Yeah, to Francis, but it's to both of them.
Okay. I am all ears.
There's a girl I'm interested in safeguarding. I look kind of pointedly at Hadrian.
You are looking at two master thieves. There's
No,
no
I
sign
know.
of recognition. Zero.
Hadrian was at breakfast with us.
Mm-hmm. So I guess what I mean by that is like Hadrian knows what you're talking about. Hadrian doesn't
yeah.
make any inclination that Francis would know what you're talking about. And Francis goes, small girl.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any more tales of this? There are many children in Des Wharf.
She's likely the reason for those ships. And of interest to powerful entities because she's more than a girl.
Well, that would explain a great deal. Yes, you are talking about, I believe her name is Alyssa.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what would you like to know?
If you have any information on her, that'd be grand, but I'm more saying I want her kept safe if possible, or kept away from the people coming for her. Because if she falls into the wrong hands, it could be a problem for all of us.
advantage. Well, that will not be necessary as far as in Dair's Wharf, as they had left in the
I
night.
know.
As far as information on her name is Alyssa, daughter of Alara and McCall. She's an older sister, Eliane, that has been missing for some time, wanted by Nova Soul representatives. As far as her connection to being anything more than just a very valuable small child, that is information I do not have.
She is a rod of destruction.
You know this for a fact.
I do.
Well, perhaps measures should be taken in ensuring her safety. Adrian? Yes, I was going to get to that. Seeing as we are all talking about this out, as we should, out in the, maybe not in my foyer, but where would you suggest that she is most safe? There.
I would say where the South can't touch her. Unfortunately, the South is at your doorstep. So if you have connections elsewhere, or if you have a way to get rid of these power brokers who are coming here,
I would imagine the difficulty would be in convincing any place to harbor a fugitive, a rather valuable one, without them knowing everything.
that's right, yes. But that's where you come in, Hadrian. You are very good at swaying people. That is what you do.
I will try my best. There is a place that we know has very high, nigh impenetrable walls. That may be a good place to keep her hidden away. I will reach out to my contacts there.
Okay.
I will do what I can.
Of course. Thank you. So, should I help with the unconscious Brom or keep an eye on our guest?
I would... actually, Francis, I would like to spend some time in trying to find where Brom's mind is currently at and hopefully bring it back to us.
What do you know of a black tabaxi shrouded in shadow?
There are many black tabaxis in Hassamal and Dair's Wharf, and I assume all over North Imea. I know not of a particular one. Was that something that you've seen recently?
Recently, I found an ability to pull sometimes people's memories. I don't know how it works or how to control it, but when I touched him just now before Prim knocked him out, I saw a black tabaxi in a jail cell opposite him, and it moved through the cell bars into his and greeted him like an old friend. And then it was darkness.
My understanding is if his mind is broken from whatever Melody has done to him, that is certainly given the broken mind is going to see what it wants to see, and there's a possibility that even with memories, they could still be damaged in that way.
Insight
As
check.
far as... Yeah, go for it. As far as your gifts, I must say, you've been sorely missed for the past 7 years.
I'm happy to be home. 21 on the insight.
Okay. Seems to be telling the truth.
I suppose I will go keep an eye on the newcomer and let you try and fix what's broken here.
Thank you. If it's not too much trouble, I'm sure he'll be able to join us for breakfast. Or
None at all.
lunch.
Maybe warn him so that he's not startled by me.
He looks at you and goes, of what?
She just smiles a little bit and goes to the parlor to see what Prim's up to.
Cool. Prim, you have not been guided on going to the bat, so is there a good chance that you've like made it halfway up the steps and are just like waiting?
I think she would have like either stumbled into the parlor at this point, trying to like follow the scent of food.
Okay. Oh
and
yeah,
there's
so you wanted to eat before the
Yeah,
bat.
we are gonna eat. Yeah. And I think Kara walks in on Prim with like half a thing of like smoked salmon like hanging out of her mouth at this point, and she's just like shoveling some food into her mouth, and she just sorry about that. They don't feed anybody well in jail.
I can't imagine because I've never been caught. So
Well,
you know Brom.
lose some, you win some. Yeah,
Some
yeah,
of
I've known
us.
him for a while.
Really? How long?
About a year or so? Year or two?
How has he been? Did you notice changes in him, his behavior?
I mean, currently, as you saw, he is broken. He started acting weird a little bit ago. It's hard to place a date specifically. I wasn't with him all the time, but
Would you
worked
say
some gigs here and there.
about 4 months ago?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
I just assumed everything with the Violet Sisters, there was something going on, and I wasn't going to question it. I don't have that.
there was that.
Yeah. So, what has been happening the last 4 days? It sounds like all hell broke loose, and then some. I mean, I heard of rioting. I mean, the jails were beyond maximum limit by that point. Also, I did blow up the jail.
It's fine. You also blew up
yeah.
the front door, so
Actually, that was Brom.
Yeah.
I just
That's
panicked.
new. As one does. Yeah, they're the lower cities are in revolt, kind of. I'm not sure. I hope it's under control now because some of my friends are out there, but not entirely sure.
Oh, there are more of. Are they like? Are they also changelings, or are they just?
Out the gate with it. No, they're not.
Look, I'm sorry. I'm gonna address the elephant in the room at this point.
Prim, roll me an
And
insight check,
you?
please.
Are all of your friends half orcs?
17.
17. Given what you assume, based on what we've talked about before, what you assume Kara is, you imagine that you were talking to. I think at first, you are imagining that you are talking to someone who is a member of the thingy.
Violet
Help.
sisters?
Not that. Not yet. Well, yes, but also that. What's the name of the harem?
Which one?
The
Violet
big one. That's
Sword
the
Art
name of
Online.
the gang around it, but where they're
The Blooming Orchid. The
Blooming
building
Orchid.
is the Blooming Orchid, yes.
the Blooming Orchid, which is a middle sort of establishment for higher ups and lower ups to stay with ladies and gentlemen of the night. So I imagine that your first inclination is that's who Kara is right now. I think as you're talking more, you notice some like small intricacies with the idea of what did you roll on your insight check?
17.
17. Some intricacies that gives you the idea this is possibly a Violet sister.
She also
Someone who
has
is-
a dagger strapped to each leg, a short sword across her back. She's in armor. She's not dressed
Yeah, that's
like
a good point too.
the Lady of the Night.
Yeah. So so I think you get the idea that this is most likely Violet sister, which is someone who could be a Lady of the Night, but also is a well-versed killer and gang member.
Look, I didn't mean offense. I'm sorry. I am tired. I am exhausted. It has been a hell of a last 5 days in that jail. Somebody pissed on me yesterday, and there was not consent.
I'm so very confused by everything you just said.
Look, I feel like I have 1,000,002 questions, and you have 1,000,000 more.
Ask your questions. The questions you ask tell me at least what you're not.
Okay, what the hell is going on with everything? With the Violet Sisters, with the Burning Rose, with the last 2 days? Give me the spark notes at bare minimum.
Okay. Who do you work for? Do you work for the Burning Rose?
No, but yes at the same time.
Who do your allegiances fall with in this city?
Brom.
Insight.
That's a complicated answer.
18. Insight.
I got you with a 9.
Telling the truth, I think.
That's half a truth.
Cool.
I ask this because if you are with the Violet Sisters, or aligned with them in any way, then we may have a problem, as there may be a war between the Burning Rose and the Violet Sisters.
Oh my god, you think I'm with them? Oh my god, I thought you were with them. Oh,
Excuse me?
look. As stated, no idea what's going on. You still have not given me any answers for any of the questions that we have continued to. Just tell me. Are you part of the Burning Rose? Are you part of the Violet Sisters? Are you part of the Red Thorn?
I'm Kara. The Burning Rose. You don't know your history very well, do you?
Yeah,
Okay.
this fully tracks. Prim has no idea what that name is.
No, I don't. I'm sorry. I came
I
into Dair's Wharf and was robbed. It's not like I'm going to learn your guys' difficult history.
I started the Burning Rose with Hadrian.
Cool. Awesome. That answers half my questions.
The wedding is off. The bride is dead. I killed her, and we may go to war with the Violet Sisters. Are you up to speed now?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Do you see how
Thank
hard
you
that
for
was?
bringing Brom back.
You're welcome. God, I'm scared about him.
Me too. I think it might partially be my fault that he's like this.
No. I don't think so.
If you knew
can't-
what
you-
Melody did.
One way or another, whether Melody did it or other effects were occurring, how can you simply take on that blame? It's not yours. And it sounds like you've
No.
already given them the answer.
Melody said that some tried to help when they found out I was still alive, and I fear Brom was one of them, and this happened because he tried to help me.
So, I want to remind you,
Mm-hmm.
we're in Dair's Wharf, where people lie and manipulate one another. Do you not think that she was simply telling you that to fuck with you? To make you feel guilty and make your conscience heavy because of her actions?
Well, it doesn't much matter now that she's dead.
Exactly. Which is great. The war part, little less. But, point stands.
It's Dair's Wharf. I'm surprised it took this long. I suppose we should wait for the others, but you should be prepared to explain why you need to go to the Feywilds.
Yes. I mean, I can tell you, I can tell them. I don't really care. It's fairly simple. I'm trying to get my wife back.
The two enter at this point.
Dope. I'll say it once more. I'm trying to get my wife back from the Feywild.
Was she
Okay.
was she taken?
Yes.
How long ago?
5 years.
So the timeline doesn't line up. Okay.
You'll-
Is she like you? Or is she a being of the Feywild?
No, she's a half-orc fire genasi.
How old?
How old is she? When she was taken?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
god. 32?
You see a look, and I say like some of this is probably coming from. I'll say like Hadrian asked that, but I think both Both Francis and Hadrius kind of give Kara a look that kind of agrees with them as like the time's off.
Mm-hmm. Do you know who took her or why?
I have inklings about who may have taken her. I have less sense as to why, and I've had 1,000,002 questions for the last 5 years and had nightmares the entire time about it. So,
Prim, is it?
yes.
As I previously mentioned, I owe you a gift for your abilities. And I am not a miracle worker by any means, but I can assure you if there is someone who would be needed in line for questioning something, that I would be the person to probably get that to happen. So who are we talking to? Who took your wife?
Who took my...
Who is the lead you have?
The only person that I can think of. His name is or was Richter, but like I stated, if the person that I ran into that ended up being the one that took her from me, I mean, they were gaunt and sickly looking, not Richter, who I knew before.
I'm going to... Can I? First, I'm going to ask, when you say sickly looking, did they still look like Richter's visage, or did they look like a corpse in many ways?
They still... I mean, they looked like Richter, don't get me wrong, but there was a level of crazed that seemed to be a part of it.
The eyes. Did his eyes change?
I mean, outside of the bloodshot, I don't know. I can't remember.
Hadrian.
Yeah.
I think we definitely need to get a hold of Pest, and ideally alive. Whatever affliction he has, it sounds like this Richter had it. And I think there's a magical source to it.
Possible. Francis, what do you know about a name Richter? Francis speaks up and goes, must not be someone who is terribly important in the criminal organization. Name does not come to mind. Where would he hail from?
Well, you actually have already mentioned it. The Rusted Bucket. I mean, that's where he was born, at least, but he was mainly working alongside me in Azamare.
Azamare. Any specific location in Azamare?
I mean, we were working in the pits. We were cooks. Somebody had to feed their fighters. We were the unlucky bastards who had to.
Are you... he's going to roll an insight check on whether or not he can trust you with this question. Roll me persuasion or deception.
15.
Okay. Interesting. Are you... familiar with a person that calls himself the owner?
I've heard like spooky tales from Azumare about the owner, but I haven't heard much more than that. I mean, there was always a rumor of that person, if you could call them that. I mean, I think they had some ties to my wife potentially, but not.
Well, can't believe all rumors, but there certainly has been many floating around now. I can try my best to investigate on that realm, but to be honest with you, Hadrian speaks and goes, yes, I am aware. I apologize, Prim, but in the world of people that I could bring in for questioning, that is not someone that would be in my
Oh, I don't think Richter's on this plane of existence, much less.
Why do you say that?
He went through the portal as well.
Huh.
Well, that does make things more difficult.
Just a little.
Is there... So, you say you need to find your wife in the Feywilds, right? Which I can sympathize with. Unfortunately, the Feywilds isn't like stopping into Azamare or Eriskar. It is an entire plane of existence. Do you have any information that can narrow it down? Like, certain factions in the Feywilds? Anything along those lines?
Kara, I would like you to roll a persuasion or deception check, and Prim, I want you to roll insight.
God, that's not actually good. Which is better? It's only 11.
Okay.
17.
It's really low.
Kara's hiding something about this. There's a personal vested interest in what you and how you answer.
I'll be honest. I kind of figured that I would figure it out once I got there. There's not a lot of people that can either perceive into or necessarily help guide in the cacophony of colors and issues that is the Feywild.
You say not many.
Not many that I've run into.
So you
That's
have
not
run into
zero.
some?
Ran into a few.
Who?
I think Prim, as you hesitate, Hadrian goes, actually, Kara, can I borrow you for a minute? Excuse us.
Of course. Okay.
And you see Hadrian pull you aside, and as you're still in the room, and as Francis is kind of sitting across from you, Prim, allowing you to kind of continue eating, but continuing the questioning and listening if you answer to it. We move past the door to the other side of the room, where we see laying on a bench that is definitely there for those that need to sit in waiting to talk to Hadrian. You see a Brom who is awake but staring up at the ceiling and muttering in a language that we don't understand. And with that, we're going to take our 10-minute break. We'll see you guys in 10. And we are back. Question above board for those that are returning back: are you guys wanting to try to stop by the compass, or based on seeing the setup of everything and how how really
Player
normal
Clinton
the
would like to
guards
go
seem.
meet up with Prim.
Okay. So,
Yeah, player Jessica would
just making
too.
sure. Cool, you got it. Sweet. So I think
come back too because I want them to not have to hear the story twice from Prim.
right, absolutely.
I'm gonna tell it 15 times. Let's go.
Let's
So
do
I'll
it.
roll something here. Okay, cool. So yeah, Hadrian has pulled you aside. Excuse me, Kara, and says, I don't know about you, but I do see an opportunity here.
In what way?
Well, for one, this is someone who has managed to be able to break themselves in and out of the third floor of the noose, something I cannot say for all my men, for men that I would like to have accompany you, but I know how you would feel about it. In this case, we kill two birds. This person wants to go there as well, doesn't know where their wife is. You want to go, you don't know where your daughter is. And it's clear that they are skilled. I do imagine that if it was all an act, this would be a very strange time to have that happen. The Ballad Sisters are very smart, but I just don't believe they'd be able to pull off something that would have had to have happened before certain events.
No,
As
I
well as
agree.
roping Francis into it. I do trust him.
Can we? I would like to hear Brom vouch for her. She said she's been working with him for a while now.
You will be a moment, and you see Hadrian kind of beckon you outside. As you walk out, you see Brom out on the bench. I don't think he's in the talking mood.
Can I cast? I'm gonna walk over to him, and Hadrian just sees like the shadows kind of darken around her as she puts her hands out towards him, and they darken around Brom as well. And I'm gonna cast Calm Emotions on Brom.
Okay. Is there a DC
It's
for
15. Yeah, it's a charisma saving throw, but it's only a 15.
Cool. He fails. So you see him you see him whisper, "So dark, it's never going to end."
Brom,
Am I dead?
no, you're not. You're home. You're back in Hadrian's house. You're safe. Melody's gone. She can't hurt you anymore. I know I look different, but it's me, Kara. Your friend Prim. She's the one who got you out.
See him like kind of thinking back. You see him thinking back, and then you see his eyes kind of go real wide in trying to kind of retain that memory. No.
Brom. It's okay.
That was real. Was that real?
Prim freeing you was real. Prim freeing you was real.
They were really here. They were really here.
Are you talking about the tabaxi?
Oh. I mean, yes.
They can't
No.
hurt you. Brom, they can't hurt you here. It's safe here.
I was a fool. One man with so many masters. You see him look past you and see Hadrian. I'm so sorry. Hadrian kind of like grabs his hands. We need you to come back all the way, Brom. We'll deal with everything else later.
Brom. She's gonna sit down next to him and kind of just cup his cheeks and just say, I need my friend back. It's been too long. Can you come back to us? And she's just gonna hug him. And say whatever that saying we said was the saying months ago. Something about Lady Luck.
Okay.
She's gonna whisper that into his ear.
You see him smile, look up, kind of like a realization comes over his face. Kara.
Yes, Kara.
I thought I killed you.
No, you didn't. You didn't hurt me. That was all in your head. Somebody put that in your head. You didn't hurt me. That was not real.
I was locked away. Why was I locked away if I didn't kill you?
Someone took control of you. That wasn't you. You didn't hurt me. There were some guards that got in the way. They got hurt. That's why you were locked away. But you didn't kill me. You didn't hurt me. It was the guards. They got in the way.
They got in the way. They got in the way. They'll continue to get in the way.
No, Brom. No one's in the way. There's nothing to fight anymore. We're all home again. Everyone's back together. Hadrian, Francis, me. There's nobody else to fight. We're back.
You see him look scared for a second. And then looks at your face and you see a look of calm realization. Kara. You're back.
I'm back.
Where am I?
We're in Hadrian's house.
Hadrian. No, friend. You see Hadrian look at you, Kara, with a look that shows concern.
I think she looks equally concerned.
Yes, Brom, I'm here. I'm so glad you're safe. We're going to step away from the moment, and you hear him like start to mutter like words like darkness. We're going to step away for a moment, Brom, but we are not going to leave. Okay, it's going to be all right.
I'll be right here. I'm not going away. I'm just stepping away. Okay, bro?
And you see Hadrian cast sleep over Brom.
That's not Melody. She's dead. How can she still be affecting him?
I know. Come in. Come here. Gives you a long hug, embrace, and it is right then and there. The front door that is non-existent. There are figures that are standing in the doorway, as Alistair, Gwyn, Io, and Yori are back with their supplies.
I think she pulls back from him and she says out loud enough for them to hear. She's like, that means Melody wasn't the one who ordered him to kill me. There's someone else ordering them to hunt me and kill me. It wasn't Melody. She might not have even been the one that...
It's okay. It's possible. All go well, I assume. Looking at the figures that are standing in the doorway. For the record, this is you guys, if that's okay. You're all a mirror.
Something happened.
Yeah, care to fill us in?
Something happened to the door.
Brom, there's something wrong with him. There's someone else who was controlling him. So we hired somebody to get him out. Sorry, not we. Hadrian hired somebody to get him out, and they're in the parlor. They broke him out of jail, and they asked for payment for breaking Brom out.
Sorry,
Didn't
so
Brom-
just
Didn't Brom try to? Okay, you go.
How about we all sit down, drink, have some tea, and we can talk this out? Because it sounds
no.
like...
I'm fairly certain that whatever invasion you were talking about is like here.
Yeah, that too.
And the guards seem to be okay letting it happen.
Probably to the small folk first.
I mean, if somebody uses like a spell to control somebody, does that end if that person dies? Or does it keep going?
I would assume it would fade.
It depends on the spell.
Maybe Alistair would know, or maybe Gwen.
It certainly wouldn't affect them like this. Maybe we'll take a sprinkling of everybody's ideas and problems. I will pull Francis out to speak to him about what he can glean as far as
and we still need our stuff for the Feywilds too. We haven't even done that.
Yes, I will.
I will
talk to Francis about that and just. Well, maybe it's best that we all sit down and make sure we get everything out in the open.
Yes.
So why don't you all do that with our new guest, and Francis and I will... I'm going to bring Gerald to my room, I'm going to have Gerald bring Brom to my room, just for now. And I think, Kara, you see like Brom's been there since the beginning. and you see like a clear like hurt, not like scared. He's very like quick action sort of person, but there's definitely like something where like this doesn't feel okay.
They've been friends for over 2 decades.
Yeah. So I'm going to have that happen. I'm going to talk to Francis, and we'll make sure. But in the meantime, clearly you guys have things to discuss. Also, we didn't get to finish that conversation, but Kara,
I agree with you. I think you're right.
It would make me feel better.
I agree. If the group is inclined, yes, I agree.
Of course, yes.
Please let me know if anything changes with Brom.
Of course.
Okay.
Gives you a kiss on the cheek, and then runs in, tries to like kind of grabs Francis, and there's like this transition sort of point, unless you guys stop for anything.
All right. I should introduce you guys to Prim, I suppose.
Sure.
During
I'll walk in ahead of her. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna mention, like, during that time in between, I think Prim would have been like, hey, could I also get a couple of things before going to the Fae? Like, are you able to pick me up some stuff just to canonically add the items that
You're saying this to Francis?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's role play that just for a second. So it's just a small recon.
Yeah.
Good work in getting Brom out. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem there. I don't have a lot at the moment. Is there any way I could maybe, I mean, I know going into the Feywild, is there any way you could help me out with getting maybe a couple of things, like a bag?
My understanding, you have asked Hatred for something. I don't believe it was given just yet, but assuming that it would be, feel free to write what you are needing, and I will see if it is worth putting in with the rest. But remember, especially if you're going into the Feywild, those details are going to be very important.
Technically, this is the second time, but yes.
Prim, is there anything else you need to tell me in this room just between us?
When I was up there on the 3rd floor, I ran into someone.
Yes.
I didn't take the guards out.
I see.
There was this other cat tabaxi creature thing that we both kind of went, your business is not my business, and they jumped out of a 3rd floor fucking window and just left. Oh, there was a bag that Brom wanted that was in the other cell for some reason, but we were running out of time. The lock was being tricky. I couldn't get it. But I know that he said that there was some potential evidence.
The bag was in a locked cell.
By itself. No one else was in it. That's weird, isn't it? I just realized that.
It's not my job to determine what is weird and what is not, but I can assure you I will find out what is going on in my city.
Oh, yeah, no, those guards were hella dead also.
Did this tabaxi give a name?
They tried to get mine and refused to give theirs.
Another useful trick for the Feywilds. Brim.
Oh, don't worry, I didn't give them mine either.
That's what I'm saying. You did good.
Oh, thank you.
Very well. That was not what I was referring to. There is a massive blank spot in a certain part in your story, and I would very much like to hear it. This is when Hadrian walks in. Francis, I'm going to have you come with me, and we need to talk. The others are here. Very well.
We can. Well, if I'm not going to go anywhere. You can find me if you want to finish discussing this.
Gets up, closes his big book that he probably had open at that point, and kind of puts it on his shoulder and walks out with Hadrian. As Hadrian walks out, Kara walks in, and this is a point that I'm gonna have because it's just fun, and we haven't had it in a while. We'll start from the top, and we'll go all the way down to Prim. So, Alistair, what do we see walking into the room?
You see about an average height, 5'10", human male, auburn hair, very angular face, a little bit of red stubble as well. Very lean, black shirt, purple vest over the top. Dressed fairly nicely, but if you pay close attention, it's been mended several times. And more importantly, he is leaning on a cane held in his left hand, knotted black wood with blue kind of crystals running up through it. And he has a very large leather and metal brace around his left leg as he is walking in. Probably wondering where the guest is.
Cool. Awesome. Moving on behind is Alistair. You either choose to take a seat or try to scan the room. Gwen, could you describe yourself, please?
Yeah. So Gwen is a short little tiefling, about 5'2". She's dressed fairly well, though looks exhausted. Her hair is sort of all over the place. She has a book, probably at this point it would be attached to a holster at her side, along with the quill that is, when you look at it a second time, it's made of this like delicate sort of crystal material, not an actual like feather quill. And it sort of sparkles blue. She has a whole bunch of other bags and packs sort of around. And you see on her shoulder the most cat-like spider you've ever seen. Has the typical 8 legs. It's all furry, but it also has like twin cattails that are just sort of coming out of it. Almost like it's doesn't like to stay in the shape very long. That's not cat-like. She's got glasses, and that's pretty much it.
Cool. Gwen, as you look, probably make eye contact with Brim as you take your seat. Prim, your eyes continue to scan to a figure who you have to kind of like look sharply down to as Yori walks in. Yori, could you describe yourself, please? Actually, we'll switch to this.
So you see what at first maybe you take as just a kid, though the face and the height are a little bit off from what they should be. He's about 3 foot tall. So, and comes up a little bit above the waist of most of the other people in the group. But for that height, you think he'd look a little bit older. but instead, you know, he has a very childish face and sort of pink and purple eyes and freckles across the nose, and of course, bright red, wild hair. He's wearing a large, sort of maybe even oversized adventurer's cloak all around that covers up a large portion of the rest of his body. But underneath, you can see a little bit of black metal. And if you look carefully, down near his feet, you can see a little iridescent something, a wing, maybe flicker a little bit as, just sort of twitch a little bit as he's walking in. He's also, you see a sort of wrapped long bundle on his back, and carrying across his shoulder is a large metal, black metal hammer that is very simple, although it has a few designs kind of etched into it. He has a look a little bit like a kid who's at a theme park and he has great excitement, but is being told that he's not allowed on a roller coaster. He's excited, but there's a little bit of disappointment, a little bit of something that's kind of bothering him in his eyes. And, I suppose if you got rolled a very high insight, you'd see that. But as he walks in, he's looking at his friends. He's looking at Alistair, he's looking at Gwen, and I think that's what you see.
Cool. Prim, as you see Yori walk in, and Evan, go ahead and check that message here. I'd like you to roll me a history check, please.
Oh boy, that's an 8.
Okay.
I definitely think Prim seeing Yori is going to initially just guard and tense.
Okay. Yeah, I think there's a weird sort of, I'm going to carry with the 8. There's a weird sort of familiarity with Yori, not in a way that you've seen him before, but you feel like there's a flash of a look that you've seen before. But Yori takes a seat or moves on down. Kara, we've already Prim's already seen you, but go ahead and describe your character now, if you don't mind.
So she's a woman about 5'6", lean, athletic build. She's wearing dark brown and like a deep green, like verdant green leather armor over most of her body, pretty form-fitting. She has a dagger strapped to each thigh and a little waist sporran strapped to one of her hips. She's wearing an oversized leather mail coat that's far more fashionable than anything else she's wearing. It's Hadrian's coat. And she has a short sword strapped to her back that has vines and kind of an earthy look carved into the hilt and pommel. She's got pale, milky white skin, deep black lips, and black hair with white streak in her hair, and these opalescent white eyes that are just pure white. There's not really even a pupil or an iris that you can see.
Kara, I imagine you kind of give a curt nod as you take a seat, and Io, describe your character.
So you see a tall-ish, like 6'2", lean tiefling male walk in, but kind of body built like a swimmer. And then as you're kind of looking at this tiefling, you're noticing a lot of things that are kind of off. Like his facial features are teetering between appealing and monstrous at the same time. Like his eyes are cuttlefish-like. and then as you kind of seeing him chat with his axolotl dragon familiar, you see that they're shaped like a shark's teeth, like they're all kind of like spade shaped. Instead of like normal hair, you see tentacles just kind of flailing about as he talks, and the ends of those tentacles kind of end in a purplish magenta mottled spot. Same thing with his horns, which almost seem to be kind of covered with like a similar kind of gray skin that he has. He's wearing purple, black, and pink and teal robes, and kind of like a fashionably cool kind of aesthetic. Like it's kind of designed to keep him cool. His right arm is just inlaid with a ton more of those cuttlefish eyes that just seem to kind of be looking about and darting about. Then, as you see, like kind of like if you were to look kind of down, you'd see his tail as it kind of sways out. It kind of has octopus-like suction cups on the inner side, so it's almost like a large tentacle. And wearing these boots that have these like feathers and leaves kind of like ornate in them. You see he's just leaving puddles of water as he walks.
Great. And Prim, I know you've done this fairly recently, but what do they see when they look at Prim?
So Prim kind of stands to kind of meet / like on guard with everyone. She definitely has a muffin like in her mouth in this moment, as she was in the middle of eating. You see this kind of 5'11", very dark green skin, orc with a large gash down the right side of her face that kind of trails down her neck slightly, followed by a kind of burnt orange color scarf that she's wearing, with this large winter jacket despite the very temperate temperatures that Dair's Wharf commonly has. She's got very plain black kind of garb underneath, and if you were probably at Yori's height, you would notice her large, thick leather boots with that are steel capped with slight dents in them.
Kara, as you look at everybody kind of trying to figure out what's going on, I don't know if you feel like you owe the honors or not.
Yeah, she would just say, "This is Prim. She works for the Burning Rose. And she helped to get Brom out of jail and has a interesting quest of her own that she'd like to fulfill."
Is
Prim, would you
this
like
just
to?
another joke? Right? Just like Marion sent the old man with one leg to send his message. Now Hadrian's sending a one-armed person to just further make fun of me. Is this?
Are you calling Prim a joke because she has one arm, Alistair?
No, I'm
It would be
calling
a first.
Hadrian a terrible human being for using people in this way.
He
just
didn't
to get
send
other
her
people.
to you, Alistair. Alistair, not everything is about you. She got Brom out of jail because they're friends and she works for Brom. And she asked for, in return, in exchange for her services, which is a transactional thing that people do, Alistair, you don't have to read into it, to go to the Feywild to save her wife.
Man, I don't even have to say anything. This is great.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Did you really break
You
somebody out of
speak
jail?
Very proper for
3rd floor.
What? Wait,
Well,
did-
so
you just
nice
broke
to
them
meet
out
you,
of the 3rd
Prim.
floor?
I think that's harder than breaking out of the 1st floor.
Yori having to wrap his brain around what 3rd floor meant is my favorite part of this session. Oh my god, that was good. Sorry, please continue.
Mhm.
Sorry. Let me explain.
Is-
Yes.
Sorry, you go ahead.
I was tasked with breaking Brom out of the 3rd floor of the prison, which is where they keep the people that they really don't even want in prison. And so with a certain set of situations, I was able to break him out of there. I was told that I got a favor, and the favor I'm asking for is to go to the Fey Wilds to save my wife, who has been stuck there for the last 5 years. I am not a joke. I mean, if I was, I think I'd be a pretty funny one, but that's just me. And you all are the most hodgepodge group of random shit I have seen in a long time.
You get
All
used to it.
You're
Yes.
replacing Nilani with.
I'm not
Alistair.
replacing Nilani with anybody. Hadrian wanted to send somebody with us regardless to make sure we had extra support.
I just I feel like when you tell a story about how you broke out of jail, you didn't fight anybody, or it's the 3rd floor. Did you jump out a window? And is it rude to ask? But is that how? It's just
No,
because that seems like it'd be a
no.
cool story. It's just
No,
you said the story of
I-
breaking out, but you just kind of you skipped all the parts where you maybe I guess we're doing other stuff. Maybe will you tell me again another time, the cool parts?
Not only will I tell you the cool parts, I'll tell you in the most intricate detail that I can. I won't let a single word go unspoken and make sure that you have everything you need for your story. Why is there a child here?
It's complicated.
Very complicated. Believe it or not, he's actually arguably the strongest one out of all of us.
That's so bad.
I know. We've discussed this before.
In all
Mhm.
fairness, you
Some
haven't
of
seen
us
what he
use our
can do.
brains.
You
Well,
haven't seen
yeah.
what the boy can do. I mean, the man. The little man.
He's
I
also
think you're
not
making it
entirely
worse,
sure
Io.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
is
that's his thing.
14 and a half years old and has... Well, I'll let Yori tell.
To be fair, we don't know what that means in fairy years.
Exactly.
Oh, so they are Fae. That's okay, cool.
Is there anything else we'd like to share in front of this new stranger?
I mean,
Oh, should we share about the? Oh, you were being okay.
Yeah, he's being sarcastic.
Prim needs to go to the Feywilds and is owed a favor.
Not by us.
By the Fae?
I would argue by me because I was the one who asked Francis to get Brom out before I left. The only way to do that was to get Prim to handle it.
Oh yeah, didn't Brom try to kill you and stuff?
He was under someone else's control. It's not him.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of that going around. Okay.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god, I love you.
Oh, all right. One, I'm in the same boat as the child at the moment.
Not a
I'm very
child.
confused on it. Okay, the little man.
You can just say Yori. It's just Yori.
Yori?
Yeah, I mean,
Awesome.
I have a bunch of names, but you can have that one. That one's all right.
You got it, Yori. Great. Gestures to Alistair. You seem like an asshole, but you seem like somebody who wants to see something. Do you want proof? What do you want?
I don't need proof. I'm just trying to understand how we're getting. So, to be completely honest with you, I just feel like at some point in the last 6 months that we've decided to collect.
Well, technically, we've
People
only been together for
like
2 months, but it's been quite a long time, yes.
Oh wow, it's only been 2
We just
months?
seem to be collecting the broken and damaged, and I'm just thinking that we lost some. You know what? didn't actually lose them. He just left. So, sure, there's rations for you, I guess.
There's extra
You will
sandwiches.
bring extra
Yeah, we got
sandwiches.
And we got this
Tell me,
spice
do
pouch. You can season it however you want.
Well, it's kind of already
Love
seasoned.
that.
I mean, I guess
One
Maybe
sec.
we're
otherwise,
getting
so long these sandwiches is just
off
going to go
track
to waste.
again.
But yeah,
I love that.
Sandwiches
Super
are
down
great.
for the sandwiches. Fine. Also, I might be broken, but I figured other ways out. And in that moment, she's gonna activate the other arm and just like energize it, and then put the visage on as well.
So wait,
And so you're just gonna
what
see
does
this.
the visage look like?
So right arm comes out, and it's this like glowing green kind of energy thing, and then it's gonna snake up, and it's gonna cover her entire face with this like almost like knight's helmet that's gonna turn into this almost orange coloration off of the top. That's this large like feather almost that like etches down her back. And then she's gonna go 90 feet or as fast as she can to get right in Alistair's face as
Gonna go
quickly
so
as
badly.
possible. And just go, is that good enough?
IO luck check.
Finn's gonna try to
Okay,
step
I'm rolling.
between Alistair and Prim just in anticipation
Yeah,
of bad things happening.
Yori does get his
That's a
spear
4.
out, but I think he also goes. So we'll give it a second. We'll let the moment resolve.
Yeah. Gwen is more worried about what Alistair might do.
Yeah, I'm more worried about what Alistair's gonna do too.
She's putting herself in between if she can. Or close by.
Is your arm solid when it has when it comes out, the right arm? Is it solid to touch?
Do you touch it?
Yes.
Okay. No. It is a projection.
Could build you an arm if you asked nicely and never invaded my personal space again.
She'll take a step back and let it dissipate, kind of like little embers off a fire.
Okay, but that was. If I lose an arm, can you? I have that? It was really fucking cool. It went across.
Yori, there's no need. You can get your point across without.
He's fine,
Oh, I
Alistair.
thought you meant there was no need for me to lose an arm. Like I could have it without losing an arm. But
You could not lose
I'll
an arm.
try and
too.
I'll try and
Yeah.
It was.
Are
It
they
was.
Police his
Uh,
language
because
after
the
he's
boys
hanged out with
don't.
us.
It was dope as fudge.
That's what Callisto asked. Is there concern because of the language the boy used?
That's a good question. So, yeah, the spectral arm is very cool. Are we all cool here? And he's nervously eyeing Alistair as he's saying that.
I think Callisto is further making you more nervous, and because there is a conversation that only you're having, where Callisto goes, I've also been wondering about that. What is considered to be a curse and what isn't? As I mean, in the terms of fucking, it is an actual word that means something rather important from my understanding.
Oh man, wow, this is actually a
Man
very
did it
confusing
so hard he
conversation.
crashed.
I don't know what you got of that, but basically he was saying that
I heard it.
fucking's a real word. I don't understand why it's.
No,
Yeah,
we got every bit,
so
and it was beautiful.
to keep it short, yeah, it honestly you can use it as a verb. It's a noun. It's an adjective. It's an adverb. You can. We'll have to talk about that later.
Right, but why is it considered to be a curse? Like ass, that is a specific animal in this world. I don't understand. Like, this conversation is just going on enough to distract you from what's happening here. Like, you don't have to respond. It's just, yeah. Or you're responding and it's just like,
I think that initial response, he was like, "Okay, we're gonna revisit this later," and I think that's when he's taking his attention back to the situation.
Yep.
Just eyeballing Alistair is like, Are we all cool? We all good?
I don't think we necessarily usually like have tryouts. I think mostly it's like kind of a personal thing, you know, like everybody here is, I don't know, I guess for me is I'm the only person that really wasn't connected to anybody for the most part, but they you know did save me from slavery, which was cool. And what did you just said, why did you want to go to the Feywild? Because do you know, like, it's not great.
Brim, you're making a face. Lean into it.
Sorry. Yes. Sorry. You said slavery?
Yeah, I was.
What do you? I mean, I know I'm the weird one here, but like,
you know, it's not a competition, but there is some pretty, you know.
It's a rather recent event, Prem. I'm not sure Yori really wants to relive every moment of it today.
Yeah.
And frankly, we all know each other. You're the new one here.
I get it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I have a weird past with some fighting.
As I said, we're all attracting the broken in this group, so welcome, but who are you?
My name is Prim. I'm from Nova Sol. Traveled up into North Imea a couple years back. Started rolling around after I had some issues in Azumare. Met my wife, Adelia, there. Broke out of Azumare with her, was on the run for a bit, got married, fun ceremony. Then they said, my wife Adelia had said that they were going to try to get one of her friends out of Azumare. Then that spiraled poorly. Richter, he's an asshole, stole my wife. Arm got trapped in the Fae portal and got cut off. She got taken, went back, got healed, came down to Dair's Wharf. I also met Brucelli at some point. Ran into a couple other situations. Yeah, the old crazy.
Did you say
fucking? Yeah.
Whoa,
sometimes.
Whoa. Hey, she's a dear friend.
Gwyn, does Gwyn see how quickly Alistair's like upset about that?
Yeah. I think she just sort of like, yeah.
Also,
all
Prim
right.
did say Novo Soul, so that's another sort of like. There's a lot of things.
She's thinking a lot of things. She's not going to mention anything about Brucelli's, about the reaction yet, but she will clock it.
Okay.
And just say, she did help us out a bit with the situation. We've met her. Interesting woman.
Did you ever meet Jerry the Goose?
We didn't get to meet.
Is that a me thing? Yeah, she had a little goose with a top hat and a bow tie. It was horrifying, but also really cool.
I think we would remember that if we saw it.
You've been there twice?
I definitely would have remembered that.
She had something that Houston was trying to make friends with, but I don't think I got a good look at what it was. Maybe that was Jerry the Goose.
Anyways. Terrifying.
Yeah.
We were kind of distracted.
Yeah. I started training.
When's it, Alistair?
Dude, Evan's fucking killer right now, guys.
I was training for a year. That's how I learned how to do the arm thing, everything like that. With a Earth Genasi, that's a whole mess in and of itself.
I
There's
see we've hit
Wharf.
the high points.
Hold on, I want her to continue with Dair's Wharf.
I mean, I got robbed coming in, which wasn't great. Slavers tried to take me a couple of times. I mean, I think they were pissed about the whole Adelia breakout situation. Beside the point.
Marion, the Draftons, in particular. I'm sorry, these slavers.
The Red Thorns?
I never got their names. I kicked their heads really hard.
Good for you.
Is that where the dents came from?
On the boots, yes.
Nice.
So, how did you and Brom start working together?
I visited the docks a lot. I was hoping that I would see my younger brother one day come to port. He's been lost to sea for a while, or maybe dead. I don't fucking know. I was hoping for something to happen, and nothing ever came of it, but Brom noticed me, and we got to chatting, and I started helping out with some jobs here and there to make ends meet, and definitely got drunk with him a couple of times, so yes, we're friendly.
Can we do this with everybody? I feel like I know more about Prim now than I do about some of y'all, some of everybody here. Like, I mean, I like you guys a lot, but I feel like we're not supposed to say the stuff that happened to us up till now, because it's like.
Oh, do you all not trust each other? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm very open book about this shit.
Well, they know everything about me.
It was a good story, but it did involve.
He did know everything about you, Kara.
But it was kind of.
For saving your
wasn't
daughter.
all at once. It was nice to have it kind of all in a sequence. You know, like from like sometimes I get lost.
You hear Gwyn saving your daughter, and all of a sudden, Prim, it makes sense to you why you saw Kara having a vested interest in your Feywild experience.
Cool. Yes. What is that term? Cockatrice of a feather? Something along those lines.
What are you talking about?
Our goals are happenstance, and we both need to go to the Feywild to find someone that we love. I mean, that's right. That's end of day. That's both of our goals. I don't have a problem looking for your daughter. And if you all want to help me find my wife, great. If not, I'll figure it out.
So, at least with my daughter, I am aware of who has her and which court they hail in. Do you have any information on your mother, your wife?
Mother, my mother. Oh,
I had a total Freudian slip.
Tell me about your
she's in Nova Sol. She's having a great time. She may have been a pirate. Anyways, no. Like I said, I have some inklings. Like, as we kind of learned with Francis, I believe this owner person might be somebody in play who is, I don't know. I mean,
I think Pest might be able to help as well if we can get our hands on him.
That sounds like a horrible person, but I'm here to grab him or whatever is needed, because
Francis should be putting.
Not sure we have that kind of time.
Well, we have to wait for Francis to get the items we requested anyways. I know.
Oh, there's an invasion now too?
Apparently,
Yep.
did you guys talk to the dormouse? Isn't that why you guys went out to start coordinating and planning with the dormouse?
Prim, history check on Dormouse.
No.
We went to Huxley's to get our
No.
stuff. We're going
Yeah, but
to
I thought
see
you were gonna
Dormouse
stop at the
together.
dormouse
To
as
go
well
get our-
to like see if there's
Cool.
anything he needed.
No,
or
we
what
have to go to the
resources
dormouse
required.
all together to leave.
I have no idea.
No, we're all
what
going to the dormouse
the
together.
Dormouse means.
Oh, okay.
That's our final stop, was my understanding.
Well, I just assumed because I mean, you guys are such planners, and you need to like he might require resources, equipment, supplies that Alistair might have wanted to know before we show up, and then have to go out again to get all that stuff.
No, we just assumed that they had everything. We didn't plan that at all.
And when we saw that the invasion stuff might be going down, we kind of decided to pivot a little bit.
You guys, so I'm sorry, you guys got your stuff from Huxley's warehouse, right? Was he there?
Nope.
No, he's gone. He's
long
not coming
gone.
back.
Yeah, not at all.
Do you think he's still in the city?
Doubt it.
Not sure. I think he pretty much destroyed everything of value in his warehouse before he left. He left us a pleasant note letting us know that he wanted us to lock the door after we left.
Would you like me to?
I don't think.
I think it's possible that the inside is not super there anymore, but I'm not sure. But
Would you
it
like me to
smelled
check on
fire
him?
when we left? Oh, this is for Alistair. Yeah.
So I'm
She
just
did
going to come
ask
out and
that.
say it. I don't think spying on somebody who hates you is going to endear you to him if he ever finds out.
So you don't want me to scry on him?
I can send him a message and he can choose to respond or not, rather than invade
Mhm.
what's left of his privacy without consent.
So Hadrian was, sorry, Huxley was this guy that we lived with for a while in a warehouse, and then he was like mad at Carr for a little bit, and then he was gonna
So,
try to
one
maybe
arm.
kill us. And
Yeah,
then,
he didn't have an arm
and-
either.
yeah, but
What
he
an
had a
asshole.
mechanic. I kind of like. I mean, I don't. I mean, yeah, well, he was kind of a jerk, but so I mean, I don't.
Was
I don't
kind
know
of a
if I'm
jerk.
Your arm is definitely cooler. Than I mean, he had like a gun on his arm, which was cool, but also, you know, it's like he also built me a cannon, so.
Yeah, I was about to say you and Al got on pretty well with him.
He's
Yeah,
brilliant.
I think I think I helped him out with the problem. So I guess the issue is, you know, I think at some point I wasn't here, but there was like a person who was like pretending to be other people, and so nobody trusts anybody. And so I don't think it's not. You seem like you're really capable, and fast. But I think maybe that's worse in case, like, you know, I feel like I trust you, but you could, you know, you could be that. You could be what, Emmy. Yeah.
She's not Amir. I checked.
Oh, well then we're all good, I guess.
And honestly, call it a soft spot or whatever, but whenever someone's looking for a lost loved one, I'd feel inclined to help, regardless if we have a lead or not to go off of.
Sometimes I think, I mean, I mentioned how sometimes the Feywild is like a reflection of what happens here. And so there's a sort of connection with what people think, because it's not just like, you know, it's not just like a mirror where it's like exactly, it's kind of like if people have an idea about something, sometimes it changes what's there. So it's, I don't know. I think it has, if you have feelings for that person and they're really strong, it's possible that when you go there, that the Feywild might react in some way. That's a bit, I'm just guessing, like 100% guessing, but there is some, things are different there. And if you have a connection and you're really trying to find them, then maybe things will react. But it also sucks there. So, just know what you're getting into, I guess.
Yuri, roll me a luck check.
Yeah.
All right.
Dr. Karan was interested in going, so I'm sure there's several things worth discovering there.
And if you do have any knowledge of where your wife might be, if Francis can get us everything we need, I might be able to get more information both on that and on
Would you need
where
like
Maeve
an
is.
object or like?
Objects wouldn't hurt, but even just a name can sometimes be what I need.
Oh, okay. And you're
Never done this spell before, but we'll see.
Gwen?
Gwen.
Gwen.
Yeah. Gwen. Also from Nova Soul.
That's. If anything says anything, today is a day of fates doing whatever the hell they want.
I don't really believe in fate, but sure.
Somebody threw a lot of dominoes together for me to end up in the spot that I'm at, much less with people of similar interest and potentially even similar birthplace.
Brom, you're kind of like you're like really dancing around that. So I think maybe this is a insight check on yourself,
Love insight checking ourselves.
or the
That
situation.
never goes
maybe.
wrong.
So the dice was a 2, but it's a total of a 9.
Okay, guys, I've been asking you all to roll, and none of you have rolled well in the past like half hour. So, do you want a story or
I
not?
changed my die, all right? I'm ready for it. Next time. I got the.
You know what? I'm the
good one.
DM. I can do what I want. Prim, this
Yeah.
is, and this is also
Do what
like
you
the
want.
first session of like you. Prim, as you are thinking about like the idea of like fate and chance and happenstance and like how are you able to get here? You've never heard of the freaking word dormouse. You have no idea what that is. But what you do know is that you've been searching for the better part of what, a year, 2 years, 3 years? How long have you been searching for the Feywild?
5?
5. For 5 years, you've been searching for a way into the Feywild. You've heard of substances, spoilers, but like Brucelli gave you a list of like the things that you would need to procure, and you just happen to show up here, hearing a name that you've never heard before, but recognizing that they are the key to you getting into the Feywild. So, not to exclamation point your point, but yeah. It's weird when Gwen says I don't believe in fate, I think there's probably a moment of like incredulity that kind of goes over you of like, if you only knew.
If you only fucking knew.
Yeah.
God, man, yeah, no, fucking, I mean, yeah, no, Dormouse? Anyone gonna explain that one, or am I just gonna have to kind of go with you all on that one?
Apparently,
and
he
just
can get us to the Feywild.
Oh, how convenient!
about-
How abso-fucking-lutely convenient. Yeah, of course, yes. The timing and everything. Fate doesn't exist. Screw me off, I guess. Why not?
I mean, we worked pretty hard to get to this point, so I'm sorry if we don't believe in coincidence or fate.
Fair enough. And I
you can think-
stumble into things more than most people
Like
run into in a
gods
lifetime.
literally exist, and
I look at
anything
Mass.
you could do, anything you do could be controlled by a larger power that you know. There's a lot of stuff in at least in Nemea, and
He's sitting at the table and just does like one of these.
It's like
I imagine
nobody likes
right
to be
next to
controlled by
Alistair.
things like that,
Yeah,
but
right
you
next
know,
to
if you
Alistair,
can't
yeah.
really know, so it might as well be like you could call that fate.
Yeah.
Of course,
It's
you could
not
also just
fate
have been
when-
sent here specifically to have a story that's like connected to all of our stories in order to sort of like work your way into the group, and then I
Kill us
don't
all?
know. I guess you could have just. I mean, you could just attack us. This seems like a lot of work to work your way into the group and then do it instead. But
I see no reason to attack any of you. Okay, well, I see reason to attack one of you, but I don't see any reason to continue with that for now.
I feel like that's more reasonable. So you know, if you said you didn't want to attack any of us, I feel like you'd be lying.
Look, Alistair is abrasive, to no one's surprise.
Yes, please tell us all about ourselves.
Sometimes it's
Okay,
not
fine, I'll
fair
just stop there.
that
Good
you
news, there's
think a
only
certain
5 of
way,
us, so you have enough fingers to count.
and that the way you think.
Hey, let Yuri finish.
I was just trying to say that sometimes it's like not fair that the way you think makes you come off as a way to other people, like angry or abrasive, and that you know, people think it's sort of intentional, but it sometimes it can just be like a way that you are, and you don't understand exactly why, or just, you know, it's not fair that you would have to understand why other people think a certain way when you think. Anyway, I think I have sandwiches. Do you like?
Yes.
I have to remember what I put on one on Nalani's, but not sure if you know.
I think we've also severely lost the fact that there is an invasion outside.
I've brought
We
it
knew
up
it
like
was
3
coming.
times.
He did,
And we knew we wanted to get out before it got here.
That's why we didn't go into directly looking up the dormouse shade.
So what is? I mean, let's what if we were to assume Prim's just coming with us, and what would be our next steps?
Get our
I need a
supplies
bat.
and go to the bathe. Get
can
our
wait.
supplies and go to the Feywilds. Those are our next steps.
How do we get our supplies? Do we have to
Francis
go
is
somewhere?
working on that.
Oh.
He's got the list.
Crime.
It would be nice to have one more night, but God damn it.
I don't. It is already late afternoon, so we may have to wait. It depends on how quick Francis can get. You did ask for all of the rare chalk in Dair's Wharf, and that might take a little while.
Listen, I feel like you don't understand how complicated a lot of these spells are.
Don't. But
They
you have to
require a lot.
understand how long getting those supplies might take.
Right on cue, Gerald walks in. Oh,
You again.
hello.
Hello.
Okay, so you're both here. My understanding there was. We can make this work. Gwyn, you were wanting a bath, but there were some specifics that I think now might be a problem.
I
Because-
just need one bath.
Okay.
Just one.
Does that, when you say one bath, do you mean one room? Or do I need to bring all of the tubs?
Yes, bring all of the tubs into one room for me.
Okay, that's going to
No,
take
Gerald,
some time.
no,
and this
no.
Is what,
One
okay.
room, one bath per person.
For everyone.
Prim said she would enjoy a bath as well. And I do not know
I
her
smell
well
like
enough to
piss
share
and
one.
shit, and it is not for me.
It
Well-
doesn't smell great.
You okay? Great. Well, so I will prepare 6 baths.
No, I don't have to take a bath, do I?
Please take a bath.
before we go
You want
bed.
to, Yori?
No, Yuri, please take a bath. And you know I don't usually use your full name, but cleanliness
You-
is next
you
to
still-
She
divineliness.
still didn't use
feel
his
like-
full name.
You still didn't use his full name. It's Jorgenmunder.
Gerald, I'll be.
No.
I'll just bathe in Hadrian's room. It's fine.
Very well.
Brom is in Hadrian's room.
In the bedroom, not the bathroom. I think that bath is probably very long.
These 2 rooms?
You
We
have a
only saw the
bathing
one
room
room.
and a bedroom.
That's
I'm done. And Prim just stands up. It's like,
Mhm.
I
Nice to
think
meet
some
you.
time would be
Are we,
good.
I'll be back.
are we gonna? Are we, okay.
I don't see the downside of bringing her with us. She's trustworthy. She works for the Burning Rose. She.
I don't know if
wants to
those
go to
two
the
things go
Feywild.
together for everybody, but
Okay.
I have no
She's also
objection.
a half orc. We're just gonna overlook. She's a half orc.
You are not doing
Yes.
this
I
today.
feel like
I
every
think she's a half
eye in the
orc.
room
I'm
just
just-
turns
There's a
towards
human in the
Alistair.
room.
So good.
The
So good.
changeling
call your
stares
dad.
at you.
Yeah,
Your
it's so
tiefling
good.
friend is just staring at you like,
your
excuse me?
other, like both your tiefling friends.
Yeah.
I don't. I
You look at
don't-
Gerald.
I don't
Gerald just goes,
personally
okay,
have
okay.
any. I've just heard Dr. Karan and
Orcs I've ever met have been wonderful people.
My
Gerald-
best friend growing up was a
Gerald.
half orc. They are.
Yes, yes,
Wonderful.
sir.
I've. Okay.
I'll
yes,
remind
Gerald,
you.
You just get the. You understand.
Alistair, I think
No.
maybe
I
we should change
don't-
the
I have a
I've
lot of
never-
work to
I
do,
just
so
Dr.
No,
I'm
no, no.
Karan
so
very
sorry.
much spoke.
You want to show me where the bath is,
Or-
good sir? And Prim kind of like,
There's a lot of
Yes,
half-orc
of course.
friends, don't worry.
Just-
No. We're having this conversation right fucking now. Al,
Do you have a problem
You-
with her because she's a half orc?
Okay. I mean, I don't. As I said, I've never personally met a half orc, but I mean, there are stories, same as changelings. I'm just.
There's stories where humans are bad too.
and I mean,
Most
There's
of the stories have
truth
humans that
to-
are bad.
Alistair,
we know reality.
Not all
that
humans.
a
In
lot
this
of
very
humans are
moment.
fucking bad.
you get a message from your father.
Oh God.
Let's go.
This is coming.
This message.
This is coming.
Oh shit.
Is that a
Hey,
message?
buddy.
It's a straight call, yeah. Isn't it? Like
This
you can
is-
respond.
I heard some things about one of the members of your party friends. And I think that's very big of you, and I'm proud of you. But also, be careful. I'm sure it's fine. Just, we love you. But it's fine. This is
Um, uh, I'm assuming you're talking about Siobhan. I miss you so much, Faustus, and we're fine, and everything's gonna be okay.
What the?
Did the princess show up?
Alistair,
I miss
what
you.
is
I
that?
miss you so much. First name.
Yeah.
God, that was so good. It was
Was
so
that your
good.
dad, Alistair?
Why were you talking about me?
Listen, all cards on the table. There's a reason for whether for good or bad. Changelings don't exactly carry the greatest reputation in North or South Imea, and I understand that you may not personally be a terrible person, but enough bad has been done, or at least talked about by people like you.
Bullshit.
That
Bullshit. No, I'm not letting you finish that sentence because we know what the original people did to Ellen Vox's people to take over this country, yet nobody says shit about that.
And changelings are forced to register. They disappear in the South. Like, what are they doing wrong? They're hiding for their lives from the government. It's illegal for me to exist. For my kind to exist.
Isn't it kind of like that whole thing where people are scared about magic and stuff? Because like, I guess like a changeling could be different people, so then that's like scary for some people because anybody could be anybody. But that's what we're dealing with Emir. But then also, aren't people like here? You know, like if you, I don't know, if you have magical, if you're different or magical powers, it's just about like people are scared, right? But people are scared of all kinds of stuff. Is there something that like makes changelings like, you know, like they've got some sort of, I don't know, black orb from the hells in them, and yeah, just
I think it's people projecting their fear into a hatred for another
That's
kind.
exactly what it is.
Just like they do with half-orcs.
It's probably something you just need more data on. Like if you only have like one data point and you're just using, I think that's about all I read in that one book, but I was trying to make it. I thought maybe that would make you convinced if I used words like that. But
Alistair,
As-
you
Great job,
hear
Yori.
you hear another message that is. Yes, I think he got that, but he said something back. So do I have to? I should probably just. Alina, do you? Saren, I don't know how this works.
Faustus, things have been said about people enough times that enough people have learned to believe it. And those that maybe once held those beliefs need to work through them, and they're trying. But it doesn't change what's already happened.
Yes, they look like they're trying very hard.
See, I was trying to answer Faustus and tell you the same thing, and now you're probably both confused. I don't know why. This is why I don't like it when people are in my head. If you had let me finish, then as I said, these stories have been circulated enough times that people believe them. I apologize if I would like to see the good in someone firsthand, rather than just blindly accept that everyone is good, because no one has been good.
I don't think the
Except for
issue
a
we take is
few.
you wanting to see someone demonstrate good first. I think the issue taken was that the association was bad was tied to her being a half-orc.
Exactly. You didn't do that to little man. You didn't do that to Nalani. You didn't do that to Kara.
Well,
Right,
I
he did,
I
actually.
absolutely
Okay.
don't like
Okay,
any.
that's
I mean, elves are weird and stuck up, so I didn't really like Nalani. He was kind of rude and really leaned into the stereotypes that I'm trying to explain to you exist. Just saying.
Have you heard like that? In some places, they think if you know, do you know what an almirage is? It's like a little rabbit with like a horn.
Yep.
And they say if you catch it and you take its tail, that, it's sometimes it's like you get a wish, or like you just like carry it around. Lots of people seem to believe that in places. It's like I've seen it in some stories, and I think people think that that's true, but it doesn't seem like that would be true. Usually when you kill things, that thing was definitely not lucky as it got killed, so it's, but if lots of people believe that, would that be something you believe? Like, don't you need your own evidence? What's the default?
Yes, I would like to get my own evidence. I think that's fine, but I also think it's fair to mention that there is I don't see any of you out running to go befriend goblins. I don't see you out running to defend and go be friends and help the needy drow of all people. A drow was carrying you off in slavery. I don't see
That
any
was
of you.
one drow. That was one drow.
So I think, okay, I'm not.
Come on,
This
man.
is actually a tricky
bullshit.
point that I think specifically for Gwyn and Prim not being here, but like Gwyn, I don't know if there's a like check yourself moment, but like drow is a whole other echelon.
Right, and we talked about this above board at one point too, about like there can be races that just are evil. Like that is a possibility in a fantasy.
But I think for Gwyn,
Essentially,
like there's a moment of like, well, we know that we fought against them for years and they tried to like wipe us out, but did they try to wipe? Like I think it's an interesting sort of like
It is, and I think Gwen is going to just sort of look at everyone and just sort of say, look, we are not going to solve all the world's problems here in this group, but I think we need to come to understanding that as a group, we are people who value and make judgments on individuals regardless of their origins. Otherwise, I don't know what the hell we're doing together. And we need
Plus, it doesn't
to
really
sort
matter.
of put that all aside for right now. Because we're not going to solve it.
I think Prim should come with us.
I think regardless of who they are, they could always just kind of turn and kill us for any reason. So, it's certainly more interesting to let them come with us. And the other thing is that, the Feywild is pretty crazy. And if we have somebody else who has sort of another attachment and goal, maybe it'll be sort of distracting. Like, like it'll hide us.
That's a good point.
I have no
that
complaints.
We're gonna cut away to Prim. Prim, Gerald is walking you to a room. Gerald, by the way, is a little halfling man who I think looks less Danny DeVito like, but is still a halfling, so like not full away from Danny DeVito.
It's the opposite direction.
It's more Arnold Schwarzenegger than Danny DeVito. Maybe? No, definitely not. Definitely not. I did picture Gerald as a just very like typical like picture a halfling.
Yeah.
Sort of. But as Gerald is leading you up the stairs, I want you to know that as a humble servant in Dair's Wharf, I abhor the talk of certain races being better than others. Not that they were saying that in there, but I wanted you to. Just felt like it was worth you knowing that.
I am glad that you have said that. In all honesty, if that is their prerogative to have, they are one person or about 5 people in this world. And if I can be even just that one person that can provide a change of mentality for them, maybe help them to understand my own perspectives, that to
Mm-hmm.
educate
Mm-hmm.
and not to cause more hate in the world,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I might as well.
Mm-hmm. So this is the bathroom in here, and you see him bring you to the bathroom. You eventually kind of notice the back half of like you're not really sure if all of what you said got through, as he seemed to have trouble
Yeah.
bearing the smell.
Thank you. Okay, you're gone. Great. And she's gonna start kind of derobing at that point and kind of unwrapping herself, just because she still has like wraps across her chest, um, and kind of undoing that, and she just a couple bruises and scars kind of seen down, on her like thigh and stuff like that, and a couple spots on her abs, and she just, God, I'm tired. God, I need a bath. Hey, is there any... He's gone. He's not gonna hear me. Fucking shit. I don't know how I'm gonna clean these clothes.
You hear at the window a little tap tap tap.
I am naked! Oh, God.
You look in that direction and you see. At first, you're not entirely sure what it is. It looks like it's like a small bird.
That... Is there... I'm gonna grab a towel or something like that at that point.
Yeah, there's a
and kinda,
towel.
like,
Yeah.
wrap myself and go over and just... Fucking weird looking bird.
As you get closer to it, you see it is not a bird. It is a piece of parchment that has been made into like a, almost like an origami sort of bird.
Opens window.
Steps out to wait until it gets right in front of you and then lays out flat. There's a message on it that says, "It's come to my understanding that you may be joining in this process. I need to know your weight and height exactly, and please confirm yes or no." And then you see a little dash underneath that says DM.
Cool. Do I just write on the back of this? Is there a pen? I could use blood. I think this is an after bath conversation over a before bath
You see the paper flutter as you say, like, maybe I'll
Shit.
handle this later.
No, cool. 5'11", 185 pounds. Yes, I'm coming. I don't know, just kind of yell at it.
Yep, you see the like a check mark appears in the box, and you see it kind of crumple itself up into like just a ball, and then just rolls out the window.
Close the window. Well, I'm
Right.
kind of scared at that point.
Why are you scared?
A random paper bird just waltzed up to the window and started tapping, and I guess it may have been the dormouse. It may have been somebody else named Damian Masters, for all I know.
Now you just created a character. Great.
You're welcome.
The interesting part about that, in my opinion, is how did they know?
I could think about that, and I could spend a lot of time thinking about that, but I think I would feel better thinking about that in the bath. And she'll just like...
Incredible.
Just...
As you jump into the bath, we move past out just outside the window to a nearby tree, and we see a figure of a small, just white paw dangling down on the tree branch, and we hear this little And with that, we're going to end tonight's session. We'll see you guys next week.